Neighbor tells you about the unstable man in the cul-de-sac who claims to have been abducted by aliens. And then there's the woman in town who claims to see Bigfoot all the time. Your boss, who you greatly admire, confides in you that he has started speaking with his wife daily when he gets home from work. She died 8 years ago. It's hard to believe this stuff, and you write these stories off as overactive imaginations. Are these people seeking attention, or are they a bit unstable? No matter what you think, if you're like me, you walk away wondering, what if that was true? The What If It's True podcast features stories by ordinary people like you and me. Something has happened to them, something so strange they are in agony unless they tell others. My name is Cameron Buckner, and the What If It's True podcast is available at whatifitstruepodcast.com and on all available podcast apps.
Welcome to Beast TV. What was that? You better get a fresh dip and buckle up. Are you ready to laugh tonight, Larry?
I am. I'm ready to laugh and hear some great stories. I guarantee it.
Man, I am so excited and gotten so many. I'm still getting messages from people.
Well, tell them to quit it.
Yeah. Tell them to tune in.
I'm not going to buffer out tonight. It's all good.
That coat hanger works, don't it?
Yeah, it will.
Let's see. I think we should just get this thing started.
Yeah, they're not here to see us.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, I first saw our guest on Kentucky Field years ago. And you know how you and I have talked about noodling for catfish. And I'm like, ain't no way I'd do that. This man was on TV noodling for turtles. And I'm like, I don't get that. But he kept pulling them out one after another. I know he gets bit occasionally, but not very often, or he wouldn't do it anymore. But we've seen him on Call of the Wild Man on the Animal Planet. He was on there for 4 seasons. Also, he was on an episode of Finding Bigfoot. Whenever he was a youngster, he had a Bigfoot encounter while he was out squirrel hunting. And I'm sure he'll tell us about that. And now you can find him on YouTube and Facebook. But tonight's guest, and he brought along his lovely wife, who goes out with him in the field now and films him and keeps him straight, I think. Keeps him from getting lost. I know that much. But our guest tonight is Turtleman and Turtlegal. Hello.
Fans doing out there tonight. Woohoo! I love my Turtle fans. I like to keep everybody happy. And I guess we're talking to Larry and Mark, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, they had to put me out of the woods. Turtlegal never got me here. I was back in the knobs, man. I was way back in the knobs. They got these new critters out now, and I'm trying to figure out how to kill them. And these little, well, I think they're eating a little microdot tick, so that's a good thing. But now these things are getting on me, and I can't get no spray strong enough to keep them off of me.
They get rough.
Yeah, man, I put 2 types of spray on, and it didn't work. I still got oak mite bites on me. Woo! But I'm right about that. Oak mites, they're oak mites, Turtleman. I said, yes, sir, you're right. I don't know what they are, but they don't like spray. They just like syrup to them. I'm telling you, get rid of one critter, get another one.
You got your hands full, don't you, Turtlegal? you know,
but keep from falling down in the woods. She likes running through the woods when she gets scared. I said, you gotta slow down, walk fast, but don't run. Man, trip over a barbed wire, whap, woo, trip in a hole, bam.
I'm not scared anymore.
Rattlesnake. Look out, Daddy.
Now,
go ahead and ask some questions now, partner. I guess I'm talking too much. Y'all go ahead.
No, this is y'all's show, and we're just tickled to be able to tag along.
Yes.
But everybody knows Turtleman.
That's right.
But if you have watched Hunt for Bigfoot on YouTube with Turtleman and Turtlegal, then y'all have fallen in love with Turtlegal. So we would like to give you this opportunity, Turtlegal, just to tell us a little bit about yourself, what you would like to share with us.
Okay. Well, originally, I guess I'm from southern Louisiana. And I love the swamp. I love being outside. I've always been an outdoorsy kind of person and love this guy. And it's always an adventure. I guess I've always been a photographer and an artist. And
I get her plenty of photography, believe me.
And so I'll do a little plug. I'm going to start selling my artwork over at Harpoon Harry's restaurant in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. So I'm excited about that. So anyway, I don't know what there is to say. I love being outside. I love being with this man, and we love God and we love people, and that's about it.
I guess so. Well, tell them about what happened there. Everybody says prayer. Turtleman was thinking about everybody during the hurricane. Down in Louisiana, tell them about your people down there. You got
most definitely
friends and stuff, and family.
All of my friends and family and all that are still in Louisiana, and I know that's not the only place that got hit by the hurricane, but we have prayed and prayed and prayed, and we love y'all, and
we got fans in Louisiana too. So we've been praying for everybody
in the whole nation, and the whole
nation, and everybody, the bombings and the COVID-19 stuff, and we've been praying, and hopefully it comes to a head and Jesus gets it out of here.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now,
we pray for everybody.
Now, Turtleman, you had your first Bigfoot experience at what, 9 years old?
9 years old. I was out squirrel hunting. Yes, sir. At the clock that morning.
Would you like to tell us about it?
Sure will. That's my favorite story, and that's a true story too. And we got up that morning. I couldn't wait. Squirrel season. I've been doing it since I was 7 and 6, and Dad taught me at 6 and how to use a gun and everything. And boy, that morning there, it was squirrel season. I done got the fever for it. It was opening morning. And I ran down through the woods. Dad said, "You can go. You're a big man now. You're a big boy. So you go on down there by yourself, and you know where the hickory-nut tree is." So he scouted out that Friday night. And we saw them at night. The squirrels are everywhere. And I said, cuttings knee deep, look like a sawmill been laying on the ground. They just like they cutting every hickory-nut in the tree. And I said, wow, we got the spot. I said, I'll be here in the morning. I eased on down in the woods about 6 o'clock that morning. About stayed away all night. You know how you are when you're a little kid, you jumping up, down, can't sleep. But I got down there at 6 o'clock, break of daylight. I'm sitting on the tree, getting my spot ready, got my guns, checking my vest, got my bullets. I'm sitting all backed up against the tree here and against the fence row, and right against the fence row, I had some big hickory-nut trees that the squirrels were coming to, and there was a big rose bush there, big old wild rose bushes. We used to grow them for fences and stuff, where the farmers did, and that's what their fence were. It just grew up in wild rose bushes where we lived at over in Washington County, Tick Creek. And then that's in Kentucky. And that morning I eased down there that old hickory tree, and I kept hearing something going, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I said, what the heck is that? A bull? Ain't no bulls in this field. Ain't no cows or nothing. Ain't no horses. And I kept listening, kind of getting nervy there after hearing all that. It's really loud, you know. It sounded like a big ape or something walking through the woods, and it's going, ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm sitting there going, what the heck is that? So I'm kind of easing up on my knees now. I done got on my knees there a little bit there, trying to see what it was, looking over them rose bush, and I see these tree limbs shaking and pushing around and shaking around and hearing all these grunts and stuff. I thought, well, somebody must be trying to scare me or something. Well, I'll just scare them right back. I said, hey, I'm over here hunting. Are you squirrel hunting too? Because this is my spot. You might have to move on down the creek. And it just got real dead. Sound like, hurl. I mean, you could hear a pin drop. And I done got nervy then, so I started standing up. I'm getting serious. So I said, okay, somebody really messing with me now, you know. And I said, all right, now, can you ask me, who are you? You know, if you want me to move on, I'll go on down the creek there. We done got a fatal accident. I get really nervous about this. Bone falling over, everything's falling over here. We got technical difficulty already. You can see Bigfoot already. Woohoo! Vibrating right now. You never know when live action will hit you, so you always got to be prepared for it. You got to figure out what you got to do, you know.
That's right.
I'm thinking on numbers, you know. I got everything timed to the T. I'm teaching her how to do numbers now. I said, when I poke a stick at something and it biting me, trying to eat me up, I'm counting how many seconds it's going to mess up, and when it's going to mess up, and when that second gets down to that millimeter, I grab it live action with my hands. Yeah. Still got all my fingers. Yeah. That's right. I got the toes too. I ain't got to be there yet.
We won't show those.
No toes. Anyway, I'm sitting there under it. I done stood up under that hickory nut tree, and I'm looking over the fence like, what's going on here? And all of a sudden, there's a big rock comes flying over the fence. Whack, poof, poof. And I said, what the heck? I said, all right now. What's going on here? Y'all making me nervous now. My daddy always taught me now, if somebody trying to scare you, shoot over their head. That'll get rid of them. I said, all right, I'll be safety first, you know. So I'm sitting there again. All of a sudden, the limbs start breaking, trees popping, pow, bam. Tree limbs flying over the fence. I said, okay, this is getting really serious. I said, hey, whoever you are, I'm going to shoot. I said, I mean it. It got real quiet again. I said, that got him. I said, that teached him a lesson. And all of a sudden, he goes, whoa! I said, okay, you asked for it. Bam! I shot over its head, whatever it was. And it roared out so loud, like, they did that for like 5 seconds or 10 seconds, however long it took. It felt like a minute to me. I don't even know how it held its breath that long to even scream that loud that long. It must have went at least 1 to 2 minutes. And I'm sitting there, holy heck, I'm done jumping back against the tree now, trying to get another gun, you know, shell in the gun. And I finally get my shell, and I'm done get the shakes, you know. You know how your nerves get kind of tore up, especially when you get buck fever and you see that big deer coming through the woods. Turtlegal's getting nervous now, grabbing my leg.
I'm going to smack the table again and the camera go down.
Yeah, okay. All right. Calm down a little bit. There's just a camera. All right, okay. Anyway, I'm sitting there going, all right now, whatever it is, it goes, rah! It starts breaking trees, I can hear it crashing through the woods, stomping through the woods, and I start seeing this big hairy figure. Man, it's standing up there about 9 to 10 foot tall. I mean big. And it's real wide too. And I said, that ain't no bull coming at me. I don't know what that is, but it's on 2 legs. Woo! So I jumped back, man. I said, I'm going to shoot again. And this time I'm going to shoot at your kneecaps. And it's sitting there going, roar! I said, bam! I shot through those briars, and it screamed out again so loud, it knocked me down. The voice was so loud, it knocked me down to the ground. I dropped my gun. That's how loud it was. So I done really got the shakes now, because I'm a little 9-year-old boy. I'm not used to being by myself. This is my first time hunting by myself, you know. And this thing screaming like, wow! And it's screaming louder than that. I mean, 10 times louder than I can do it. Oh, yeah. And you're hearing it live action. So I said, it's time to bamboos. So I'm bamboosing up the creek, getting out of there, running hard as I can. Tree limbs flying over my head, rocks. So I'm running up through by the rock pond. I'm coming up through the rock pond, going up through the woods by the old mud pond. Now I go past the mud pond. I mean, I'm flying. I'm running like I don't know, worse than a rabbit. I tell you, a deer couldn't catch me. So I'm looking back behind my shoulders, and I hear this doo, 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 doo. I can hear his feet tracks. That's how loud it was coming up behind me. So I just gained a little more speed. So I said, I'm out of here. I see the fence in my house where I live at on T Creek. We used to live in the old Grider house, the old schoolhouse. There's a big old fence there, about 7 foot tall. I didn't even see that. I just put 1 foot on the fence and over the fence. I went, leaped, landed on my feet on the other side of the fence. I'm running to the door. I didn't even knock on the door. I just kicked the door down. Bam! I run in there. Dad, Mom, it's a monster. It's a monster. A monster's outside. It's Bigfoot. Bigfoot. It's a monster. Get up. Get up. They jump up. What the heck is going on? The dumb kid has done got scared again. I don't know what's wrong with him. What's wrong with you, son? I said, I'm not going out there. So my brothers all jump up and they run out there. My brother Tim, he looks down the field. He said, I see it. I see it. It's a gorilla. There ain't no gorillas in Kentucky. I tell you that right now. So my brother sees it running down through the field, going out over the hill there down towards the silo barn. And it's going across the road, crosses the road and goes up by the bass pond down that holler. My brother sees it. So we were up on the hill, where the schoolhouse was, and he saws it. It's a gorilla outside. Turtleman. I didn't have my Turtleman name in. Ernie's right. It's right there, Daddy. So he runs outside with a gun, shoots up in the air. Bam! That's how it really happened. I'm telling what we really did. I don't tell everything, I'm just telling what really happened. So Dad shoots up in the air, thinks somebody's after me. I said, Dad, you done scared it off that time. That got it good. I said, just get back in the house. Let's just all go to bed again. I'm done. Well, where's your gun? He said, I left it down there in the woods. He said, you left your gun in the woods. You don't never leave your gun in the woods. I said, well, whatever screamed at me, it made me drop it. So I got the heck out of Dodge. I barely got to the house. Better be glad I'm even here. Yeah. So I guess it's about 8 o'clock, 8:30, and they finally convinced me to walk back down there to get the gun. And they're all making fun of me. Kind of, my brothers and all and sisters, they making fun of me. I'm sitting there going like, I'm telling y'all, I really saw something. It's a Bigfoot. It's a monster. I'm not going back down there. And Dad said, well, I got the gun. We'll go back down there and get the gun. We got to get the gun. You just got it. You ain't had it for 3 years. I said, well, you can stay down there. That's all I care. I don't care about it now. So, I said, all right, you talked me into it. After about 9 o'clock comes around, I said, I guess it's daylight enough now. so we walk down there. I show him where it's all at. I said, here's my gun, where I fell. Here's where I shot at it. And here's where I shot up in the air. And here's where I shot at it on the ground, whatever it was. I didn't hit it. At least I don't think I did. If it did, it must have been a couple BBs in the kneecaps or up in the leg area. Not enough to hurt it or kill it or anything. But I was trying to warn it first when I first shot. And I picked up the gun, and Dad said, what's all these tree limbs all broke? I said, I'm telling you, that's where it was coming through the woods. That's where I seen. It was breaking the hickory sticks, man. Hickory, little sapling hickory. You can't break hickory. Nobody can break a hickory. But whatever this thing did, it just splintered them. And it was just uprooting them, throwing them over the fence at me. And these big rocks, they was probably about like that, little big old flint rocks, and they were out in the field. I said, there's the rocks that he threw at me. And he said, well, you're lucky you didn't get hit by those. I said, yeah, I know it. It would have killed me. And I seen where he crashed through that fence. Those Ryle World's bush fences. And it's got barbed wire in the middle of it. So it gets hung up in there. That's where I found all the hair at, where it leaked through the fence. It finally, I guess after I took off running, it finally got worked its way through there, but it left hair all on the DNA hair, all on the fence and the briars where it got tangled up. So I got it on, I got it all gathered up, put it in my pouch. Still had my squirrel pouch on because I never took it off. So I put it in my pocket. So I get home and we start walking to the house and looking for foot tracks, but we never did find no foot tracks. But I guess we really wasn't really looking for foot tracks. If it was, we never did see them because it's so big. Never did know what it was. But this one here, the color of it was solid black, and it was hair coming off of it, like real curly hair. And it had big square teeth coming out here and 2 canines here. And I said, I thought it was a werewolf. That's what it looked like to me, but werewolves aren't that tall. I see TV shows, but this is real. This ain't no TV show here. This was live action. That is whatever was over that fence. It came through that fence. I got the DNA. Then Animal Planet came along, after that, the Animal Planet show, and we was doing that. And we got on the Finding Bigfoot with Bobo and Renee from Finding Bigfoot show. They had a show out on the Animal Planet as well. So we got together and we do a little show, and I show on my hair. I finally found it. I put it in a bag. I always had it in a bag, had a paper sack. I put it in that paper sack, and I finally found it, and I show it to them. And I wish I hadn't showed it to them. I should have kept a little bit of it because they took it off. And I ain't seen it since. They said I had the second Bigfoot hair ever known
at
that time in the world. I was number 2. I said, well, at least I know what it was now. It's really Bigfoot hair. They showed it on the Finding Bigfoot episode with Bobo and Renee at the fire campfire. And I told that story there. Whoever saw that, whew, that was some live action there. And I was proud to be with them fellers to go Bigfoot hunting that night in the dark. But whoo, after in the dark, I don't like going in the dark no more. I like going in the daylight where I'm going.
And I want to make a little comment that Turtleman was hunting the squirrels for food. He doesn't kill things to kill ever. He saves animals, but he does hunt for food.
Mm-hmm.
So I
do got to have some winter supply of food every now and then. But I love deer hunting. I get my deer for the winter, and I get my squirrels for the winter, and some fish. And I love to eat. Got to eat during the winter when it's real snow gets too deep. Can't go nowhere. Y'all might want to stock up on that.
I agree. I enjoy it too. So how long did it take you to get back out in the woods after that encounter at 9?
It took me about a whole year. It went a whole year. When it got dark, I was in the house. Yeah. When I got off the bus from going to school, I ran to the house. I didn't walk to the house. I ran. And that's as far as I went. It was too close to dark. 5 o'clock, it's dark. When that time goes back, And I didn't go to the house for a whole year. And finally, Easter rolled around. And my daddy spoke up because they always hollered at me, even kind of whooped me with a belt to go outside and get wood for the fire at night. I said, Daddy, you can beat me and kill me because I'm not going out in that dark. If you want to walk out there with me, we'll go out there and you shine the light, but you're going to hold the shotgun while we're there. I'll get all the wood you want, but you're going to hold the shotgun. That's how scared I was. And I slept with Mom and Daddy for a whole year now. That's how scared I was. And I'd stay awake all night because I'd hear noises outside. I'd just say, what was that? Dad, wake up. Oh, my God, I'm going to beat you to death, kids. Get up at 4 o'clock, go to G&E. Go to sleep. You know how parents are, Well, back then, we old timers, man, we believed in getting up at 6 o'clock, work till dark. But when 10 o'clock came, you go to bed, you eat, go to bed, do your chores. That was the way it was. Kids got it lucky nowadays. You don't have to pack in the wood.
That's true.
You had to drain the water up. You had to go to a spring, fill up with water. Luckily, we had a well at the old schoolhouse. Luckily, but we still had to have a rope and go down in the well, pull the rope up, fill up the tub, take a bath, dump that water back out. Then had to go get the clothes. But we had to dip that up, fill up the washer and wash the clothes. And then you had to fill up another tub to rinse the clothes. Then finally, Mommy had a wringer on there. And she'd wring the clothes out and say, well, we're done. We'll go outside and hang them up on the line. It'll be dry by morning. So that's how we done it. That was a lot of chores back in, boy. Yeah.
Yes, sir. No doubt. Everybody had a garden. Everybody hunted. Everybody fished.
Yep.
It's just the way it was.
Easter rolled around. Dad said, if anybody finds any pink chicken eggs in the bed, you know Arnie laid them. He's going to be a man. He's going to face it up. Everybody's laughing at me, too. Even at school, they laughed at me. And I said, well, y'all laugh all you want to, but when you see that thing, you'll be sleeping with your parents too. I tell the guys that. I tell all the boys that at school, all my friends. They didn't believe me, but they laugh at me. But I said, well, after this day here, I never was afraid of nothing no more. I went out and faced my fear. Yeah. And I guess that's why I fear no fear now. The only fear I fear is not meeting all my turtle fans out there in the world. And I'm doing a heck of a job trying to see all them that something happens to me, God forbid. I'm going to see each and every fan out there that I can and shake their hand or give them knuckles or give them a picture or just give them something to look forward to with some cheeriness and happiness. And Jesus loves you. And we always say Jesus loves you, and the Turtle Team loves you too. That's what we always agree with. Woohoo! I ain't afraid of nothing no more.
Now, go ahead, Larry.
Did anybody ever confide in you that they'd seen anything around there during that time? You know, you said most people made fun of you, but surely somebody else would come to you and say, I've seen it too, or my grandfather told me stories, or whatever.
But nobody ever confronted me on that. They thought I was a nut, you know, a crazy kid in the woods. And I was hunting turtles. People even drive by the road and they said, oh, never mind. That's just that turtle boy. That's that brown turtle boy there. He's just out there catching turtles. You know, he's all right.
Yeah.
What I didn't know is that Dad kept a secret on me, and my mom finally told me a secret probably about 3 years ago. And I think we was dating at the time. I don't know if Turtlegal remembers that or not, but
yeah, I do.
And anyway, my mom told me, said, your daddy seen that creature that you saw. I said, he did. And he goes, yes. I said, well, where did he see it at? Why didn't he tell me? He said he didn't want to scare you again because you just started getting brave again, where you're getting fearless, and you just now started hunting again by yourself. And I said, yeah, I did. And well, what did he see, Mama? He said he walked over to the bass pond. And I said, yeah. And he said he walked down that hill over where you go over the hill and you start down that little draw there to get to the pond. And he goes, I said, yeah. He said he saw something over there getting a drink of water sitting on the bank. So he was easing up to it, you know, like, what the heck? Somebody over fishing or something? He thought somebody was sitting down. And he said, if he is, I don't know why he's sitting down in a hot fur coat and it's 90 degrees. So he was getting a drink of water, putting it up to his mouth. And Dad got real close and he finally saw what it really, really was. It finally started standing up. And it was that black, hairy, gorilla looking thing that that's what my mama told me. He said he admitted it, but he didn't want to scare you with it. So he told my mom to keep it a secret and don't tell him. He said, I pulled out my pistol to shoot at it. Then he got to saying, well, this thing's too mean and too big for a pistol to hurt it. So he slipped the pistol back and he got on his hands and knees and he crawled through the high weeds to get back to the house. So he come crawling back to the house and knocked on the mom's door and said, Mom, that's something. The kid's right. It's something over in the woods. Well, that's what my mom told me from the bass pond that day, that he saw that critter I seen. It was like 9.5 to 10 foot tall and real black and hairy. Yeah. He thought it was a caveman, he said. Biggest caveman he ever saw. And that's what my mom told me.
Yeah. Well, that had to make you feel good to know that your father at least saw it.
Yes, sir. That's like, I knew it. I knew somebody had to see that. I knew it. And my brother saw it too. He always said, he ain't lying. Ernie ain't lying. He'd always take up for me. I saw it running across the field. It looked like a big gorilla.
Yeah. And
then in 94, Squirrel Brady saw it, and it scared him real bad. And Squirrel Brady told me a story that he was driving down the road, and it jumped across the road. And all he saw was the legs go across the road, and it stopped at the edge of the road and looked right through the windshield at them. They slam on the brakes, and it just takes a leap into a biker patch and runs up through the field. Man. That's what his story was. And he went back that evening after he got back from work, and he walked up that bank and through the biker patch, and there was these big tracks bigger than his were. He said there was at least 28 inches long and real about at least a foot wide, 1.5 feet wide. He said big toes on the end of it. He said it was it. He said, Ernie, it was it, Ernie. Oh, partner, it was it. That's why he would talk, you know. Yeah, he was hillbilly, boy.
I've got the tracks.
I love that guy. Yeah, we can show you the tracks. That's what we've seen on our show here. Here's a big track right here, if you can see it.
Yeah.
If y'all recognize this from episode, I don't know, 3
I think
or
it's 3,
something.
I think. Yeah.
This is a teenager.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it to where you can see it. There you go.
This is actually analyzed by my friend. He's an archaeologist in West Virginia, and they collect dinosaurs. So we took the copy of it up there, the pastry of it.
The plaster of
Paris.
This
is the mama Bigfoot. Now this is maybe what I seen.
Yeah.
But now these things 1,000 yards away.
And look at the stick that's in it.
Yeah, even got caught between its toes there. Check that out. Yeah. That's live action right here. Yeah.
What?
Other steel, honey, ain't laying the steel. I don't know. Get it on up there where they can see that. Yeah. Move in on that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Can you
DNA'd and tested. It actually has the everything configuration of a track that my archaeology friend Ray Garton and then Mary Ellen Garton from West Virginia, they got a museum and everything, and they said that's the biggest track they've ever seen. They've seen some big ones, but that murder must be grown up adult. I said, well, that one ain't an adult. It's just a teenager. It's only about 6.5 to 7 feet tall. It might be about 7.5 feet tall now.
By now, yeah.
By now. It's been almost a year ago since we got those.
Probably. Has it been?
Yeah, it's been a year ago.
It seems forever.
Going on 2 years.
I guess.
Yeah, it's been actually, what's the day? September? Let's see, it'll be June, it'll be July, August. 1 year and 4 months. That's what old it is. 1 year and 4 months. Yes, sir.
Now, y'all's first episode, you start off by telling the story. You come back from squirrel hunting and you saw the mama and the juvenile. Do you mind sharing that story?
Yeah, I was actually hiking that morning. I said, well, I'm going to go out. I always get up about, 6:30 every morning. And I take off, Never did they like getting up at 6. I hate getting up at 6. But 6:30, I'm up and running. And I take off.
Sometimes I'm with them.
Yeah, so I'll take off and I'm hiking and I'm going up through the woods. I'm probably about 6-7 miles away, and I'm walking through the woods. I get to my spot and I want to just hike around because I got to get back for church by at least by 10 because I got to be at church at 11 because they all want to go to church. So I said, nothing wrong with that. I'll pick you up a Turtlegal, and we done had it planned out before I left, and I'll pick up Turtleman too, and I'll get in and
same routine every
time, every Sunday. So anyway, I'm out here hiking, and I hear this here loud noise like, oh, I said, what the heck is that? And it sounded like a wounded goose. And I said, what is that wounded goose? I said, I'm going to go check it.
I've heard that before.
And she's heard this.
Really loud.
Yeah. When I got her in on this, I said, now listen for a wounded goose. And this is that day, same day after we got out of church. He heard the wounded goose over the hill.
Well, I even heard it well before he saw Bigfoot, but we didn't know what it was. It was so far away. We were ignorant.
We was ignorant when we first started Bigfoot. I done got so fearless. I guess they've been knocking all around me, hollering, hooping. I said, who the heck building a barn over here? Ain't nobody building no barns over here. They beat all the way around me and holler and hoop. I said, all right, they're scaring off my deer, whoever it is. I said, man, I can't have no luck. People always walking through the woods. So I said, dang it. That's how ignorant we was. Didn't know what it was. So this morning here, I said, we'll find out what that noise is. Then I hear these knocks and trees shaking. I'm easing on up through the woods. And I said, it must be a buck fighting another buck or something. I said, that's got to be what it is. Then I sound like a dead wounded goose. Like,
dead one.
Yeah, is it dying or what? I said, I got to help this thing. So I'm easing up through the woods looking for a wounded goose. So it's done doing it like over and over and over and over and over. I mean, it's done it like 50 times. And I'm sitting there going like, well, it's going to have to quit. So it must be in agony or something. I said, it's got to be wounded. And I get up there and a deer runs by me, a doe deer, just flying by me, nearly knocked me down, didn't even see me. I just jumped out of the way and kind of made my heart flutter there a little bit. I said, just a deer. I said, that ain't nothing. So I'm going to following the deer. I said, I'll just see if she was hurt. And maybe that's what I heard. So I'm easing down through her, following the deer, and all of a sudden behind me, I said, good Lord, my hair stood up in like, eek. So I'm turning around. I'm sneaking back up through that woods again. And all of a sudden, I see this tree shaking, this little bush, about a little sugar tree, but it's so big, about big as my hand, big as my arm. And it's shaking it like that, boy. Doing that wounded goose crawl. I said, what is that? So there's a big beech tree sitting right down below me. So I said,
that's episode 1 probably.
So I said, I'm sneaking up through there to see if I can get behind that tree. So I'm getting up there behind that beech tree to get a closer look. And it's only like 50 yards from me to 48 yards, maybe 40 yards. I'm at the bottom of the hill. It's at the top of the hill. And it hasn't seen me yet. And all of a sudden I hear this, and I hear a, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, okay, something up on the hill. I said, what is that? And I see it, big silver looking thing sitting up on the hill, up on top. It's still doing a wild goose call. Oh, I said, okay, I see it. It's a Bigfoot. Oh my gosh, it's silver. And this thing here was big. I'm talking about 9 foot tall, huge, big wide shoulders, big creature. So I'm sitting there looking around, and I said, what's it doing? Is it trying to scare me away or what? It don't act like it sees me. And I'm sitting there looking, I'm starting to get my warning lights starting to come on now. Like, okay. This deer runs behind me, another deer runs down through there, man, about to scare me to death. So I'm hugging a tree. I done got up against the tree, done pulled thunder out here. I'm done whipping that out here like his old thunder. Sitting it out there like that right there. I said, okay, but I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down too. It's going to go more DNA this time. I'm looking at behind me because I keep hearing this, ow, ow. And I get ready,
Put the knife away.
and you can tell Turtlegirl's already getting excited or getting nervous. Telling you, this ain't make-believe out.
I'm just cautious.
Cautious, you know. Don't want no blood and gore on the show.
You want to hurt Bigfoot, but if Bigfoot's coming after you, you're gonna kind of want to take care of yourself.
Yeah, knife ain't gonna do no good though, because it's gonna just say, "What the heck are you doing? Ouch!" He's gonna go
That's true.
the tree with it.
Yeah.
That'd be like a toothpick to him. But I said, well, at least he pins me to a tree with my own knife. At least I got DNA when they find me.
And I want to say that this show is called Turtleman's Hunt for Bigfoot, but it's not hunting like, like we're going to kill it or shoot it.
That's right.
It's like we go fossil hunting. We're looking
Arrowhead
for
hunting
fossils.
too.
Yeah,
We look
arrowhead hunting.
Woo!
So we're just looking. We're on its trail. We're not hunting to kill. Never ever want to harm anything. We love them.
They understand.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm finishing the story up here. I'm finishing this story up. I don't know whether y'all going to hear all about it. This thing, whatever it was, the second Bigfoot runs right across in front of me. It wasn't but about 20, maybe 28 yards right in front of me. I'm standing at the tree, and it comes down the hill, comes across in front of me. I'm standing right here. It comes across, like, here it is. I'm standing here. I don't know how to do it. It's big. Can't get the left and right here.
Just don't worry about the screen.
Anyway,
Do you?
I'm standing here. This thing is coming down the hill, and it's meeting me right here. Passes me up, goes up the hill. Man, at 28 yards, my warning light really starts blinking. Holy crap, it's a Bigfoot. I'm not lying to you. Man, it freaked me out. It was a teenager. It went about probably 6.5 to 7 feet tall, but real muscular.
6.
And I mean, it's a little taller than me. I'm 6, but it's still a little head taller than I am, but real muscular, built wide, got a black, brownish, reddish, mink-looking fur, real slick and shiny. It runs right across in front of me at 28 yards. Nobody's going to say it was what it is. If you see it that close, you're going to call what it is. If you see an elephant that close in the woods, you're going to call it an elephant. If it's a bear, you're going to call it a bear. If it's a rhino, you're going to call it a rhino. If it's a lion, it's a lion. Okay. It's a tiger, it's a tiger. I'm not like my turtle mom said. I saw a bear. We all laughed at it. I said, how close was you? Well, it was right there. What would you call it? I said, I'd call that a bear too, Mom. If it was that close. She saw a bear at 10 yards. Man. Yeah, we laughed at her, but she said, well, what would you call it? Well, if it was 10 yards, that'd be a bear. She saw a bear. So I saw 2 Bigfoots. It runs up on top of the hill where the mama is. I guess it was a mama. Looked like a mama. Okay, Turtle Girl. She's watching me here. I get excited. These things make you excited. I'm telling you. I don't know if y'all had Bigfoot experience or not, but if you see a Bigfoot, you'll get excited. I promise you. You can't help it. It's in your DNA to be scared. Gets excited. I'm not scared. I'm just nervous. So I'm just telling y'all how it is. You'll get, you can see I just keep grabbing my coontail right here. Nervous. But anyway, it gets up on top of the hill. The little one does. It hits it right in the head. The big mama, the silver one, bam, hits it right in the head. Like, oh, it grabs its head and goes down to its knees. She smites him again. He's you can hear him whimpering up her. I mean, like he's hurt. She's whooping him. She's probably telling him, there's a human down there. I've been hollering for you for an hour, and now you just now getting here. There's a human down there. You see him now? She whips him in the butt. They run over the hill. When they went over the hill, I take off running. I jump in the truck and get home. I run up there and tell her, get ready. Get the camera. We ain't going to church. We're going after Bigfoot. Get the film. I seen it. I saw it. She said, what the heck are you talking about? We'll get it after we go to church. I said, we ain't going to church. That's just to go get the thing now. Get the camera.
Well,
whew, y'all seen that on the show. I ain't acting.
Yes, sir.
In my opinion, if we put God first, everything falls into place after that.
Well, we went on to church, but after that, after church, I said, God, please protect us. Because I've done my warning lights done on again. Take off and making the show. I said, we're going to go film it. Turtlegal, did you hear that goose call or not? That we went that day and we heard knocks in the woods right over the hill. And she was getting nervous this time.
Well, my first knock scared me because then that's when I said, okay, this is this is like gonna be real.
I said, oh no, you're not running now. That one knock ain't enough. I said, that ain't enough. We're gonna go over the hill where I seen them. So we finally get to the spot where I seen them, and there's this tree just bark peeled off of it, tracks where they've been watered out, where they've been branching the weeds, where she's trying to get that one's attention. I show her where all the tracks come through the weeds and the grass and run up that hill. Man, we walk over the hill and we find them tracks. Now, then the knocks really get going in. I mean, we hearing 3 knocks, 4 knocks over here, 2 over here, 1 over here. Well, tell them about that, Turtlegal. Tell them about the knocks.
Yeah, I mean, at the very beginning, I probably got, what's that disorder when you hear all these bangs and knocks and you're like, they were loud, and then when you start smelling Bigfoot, and he has to be right there, but you don't see him, and I don't understand.
She sees this ghost-looking thing standing there like a big shadow. She said, what's that? I said, I don't know what that is.
It kind of looked like a shadow, but then
that's when we started smelling it. But then we start talking, looking at each other. Then we look back with the camera. It's gone.
Yeah.
I said that was it. That's where it was.
But they're so close to you, but you don't see them. It's just amazing. Yeah. And I mean, it is true. We were very ignorant going into this because we heard knocks, and I heard that goose call 1 or 2 times before. I've heard all kinds of things before, but we never knew what it was. They're probably like, they're idiots. they don't want it. We're like, what the heck is that? And just
tell them about the first time. When we was dating, I was showing her how to track and stay out in the woods and deer hunt and how long I stay. I said, when we're out here hunting, I said, here's what I do. So we hear all this weird sounds like a ruby goose. He goes, what's that? I said, just a goose. Then we hear all these coyotes hollering. What's that? I said, just a bunch of coyotes. That's all right. Then this one coyote, it don't sound like that. It's like, she said, what was that? I said, I guess it's a male coyote. Like no coyote to me. Then we hear something like, she said, what's that? I said, just a mink. Mink ain't that big,
Right.
He said, ain't no mink there. She pulled her knife out there. I said, what are you going to do with that? No, I'm going to stay right on your tail. I'm going to hold your belt. Get to the truck. I said, if I got the truck up there in the field, good man, just get to the truck. He done got scared that night.
Well, yeah. I'm not so scared anymore. Season 2 is going to be a lot better. Mostly I was scared because this man would run after anything and try to grab it. And then he would be squished like a pancake. Then I wouldn't have him, and neither would y'all. And so that was my biggest fear. The second fear was, like what's going to happen when we do see him, But
I'm going to get the shot. We're going to get the picture, and we're going to say, there it is, and y'all can believe it if you want to. Well, that's as close as I'm getting, so let's run this away, because I got hit by a rock. I don't want to get hit by another rock.
No, that was the most horrifying. If y'all have seen the episode where he got hit by the rock, we had no idea he was there. We didn't smell him, never heard him. we knew we were on a good trail, you know, like a recent trail, but
he was packing a deer that day.
Yeah, it was just so odd that day. And I was 1,000,000,000% sure we would not make it out of the woods alive.
So I've been training Turtlegal how to be brave and how to go through the woods. This is why I've not been live a lot, because I've been training her, and then we under training but we got some good footage this time. We got some good things coming out. And of course the rain has been so rough this year and the flooding. We ain't been able to do much, but we're still on the trail, and we got some. They went into a swamp, and I ain't too good in the swamp tracking, but the tracks are there. So we got tracks, and we're working on a swamp episode right now. And I get lost in the swamp. I'm not a swamp man. I'm a mountain man. A country boy.
So I do want to say that on Thanksgiving Day we will have season 2. Everybody keeps asking, but I can't find the rock right at this moment.
This is a rock that hit me here.
No,
that's the rock that hit me. I know it anywhere. I know the rock by heart.
Yeah. We were in Tennessee. That's right.
She got brain damage, I think, because she got scared so bad. I just had to get her back to talking right.
We were in Tennessee when he got hit.
Now this rock here is a sandstone. It's a soft rock. Yeah. And this thing hit me right here in the chest. Bam! Now, I don't know how it hit me, but I just know it hit me and knocked me down. And I fell about 8 yards and wrapped around a tree, because the heel was straight by, and caught that little tree, that little beech tree. I'd probably been really hurt if I'd have rolled on down. But I got up, and I get up after 5, I guess it seemed like an hour, but I got up in about 3 minutes, 4 minutes maybe. I said, I'm getting that rock. She's screaming. She's done running down the knob, down the mountain there. I said, get back here with the camera. Film back. Then another rock hits the limb, another tree right over from us. I'm going after that rock, but she's screaming so much. I said, well, I just have to leave that one. So I take off running and to catch up with her. And I said, it's okay. It's okay. Y'all see the film. That's live. When I'm doing my hunting, all that's real. But when we get lost, we do a little acting on the getting lost part. Kind of.
When I say Turtleman, I think you're lost.
Yeah, you can start looking for the fun stuff in, because that's acting.
That's just to make you laugh.
Just to make people laugh, But we make it fit into the show like it's real. But all the hunting part, real, getting hit with rocks, they're real. And this rock here, this is what happened about another 2.
I can't believe it.
2 months after I got hit with a rock.
Yeah.
This is about 2 months after.
So we were at a different place in Tennessee. I'm never going back to this place. I'm never going back. That thing was evil. Oh my gosh.
That's soft rocks, though. Soft rocks.
To give him a little credit, maybe he had baby Bigfoots at the top of the hill or something. I don't know. But
he was a guard. That's what he was doing. He was feeding. He had a deer.
Give us a chance.
So that morning, we found a kill rock that he hit a deer, and it was blood on the rock and on the ground. Deer hair was there. So whatever it was, I could find deer hair every now and then up through the trail, and we was tracking it. I said, this is fresh. Let's go. Come on. So we going up that mountain, and there's a big giant tree blowed over with some root was. That's where it was camped out at, up on that mountain, up where the big tree. Because these squirrels are going crazy.
Oh my gosh!
Man, when you see a squirrel go crazy, you better be watching that squirrel. Something is in the woods. You will see what it is. Yes, something good. Scare the squirrel.
And first, if everything goes dead quiet, like you hear birds singing and all that, and then it gets dead quiet. You know something's near. Then when you hear some squirrels going crazy, you better run. But
that's when I got hit with a rock.
Now this episode will be in season 2, and I can tell a little bit.
Yeah, you can tell a little bit of that.
I mean, give a teaser, but we were there for 4 days at this new location.
Now this rock looks like a hatchet.
It does.
It's pointed on this end. I get this here, right? It's pointed on this end. This has been knocked off to a point on both sides, as you can see that.
I was filming some really intricate weaving, and it was just incredible, and I was right in the center of it. And I know that I had a GoPro and my camera, and I was filming everything and trying to hit 2 different directions so that when I'm looking this way, that's when they do something. Well, he was, I don't know how many feet away from me, but he was doing something
about
else.
15 yards.
And then that tree hit very, very close. That rock hit a tree really, really
hit a
close.
Tree.
From really far away, and we have them on film.
If this here would have hit you, this flint rock here, and it's shaped way it's shaped, anywhere it would have hit you, it would have cut you, broke a bone, or bashed your head in, or stuck through your skull, or stuck through your chest, because it's pointed on both ends. And it looks like to me it's been napped off that way for that purpose. And this thing would actually kill you. This is a kill rock right here.
Well, he had deadly accurate aim, and he was pretty darn far away.
Yeah, the tree was only 8 feet from me, and bam! I mean, it hit that tree. It sounded like a shotgun going off. It knocked the bark off the tree. And man, she said, "Okay, we're leaving now.
Right now.
We're leaving right now." Man.
And so yeah, that's going to be an interesting episode, because they had a lot of sticks, a lot of weaving, a lot of all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And
we've been up in that territory 4 times, and it was getting better and better all 4 times. We kept finding weaving. We even found a totem pole. I can't wait to show y'all that on film.
Well, that's what we call it.
Yeah, that's what I call it. Yeah. I mean, it's ripped up. These limbs didn't get all the way up that up that tree the way it was. It was wrapped around the tree. It looks like a totem pole. And I actually seen it running. We was coming down the woods on the side of the hill, and I look up, and there it was behind a log. I see its face. So I take off running. I grab the camera and take off after her, but I'm going to get this. This is, of course, he's still trying to tell me, you need to calm down. Don't chase it. I said, I'm not going to chase it. I'm just going to chase it enough to get it on film. So I grab the camera and take off running after it. It's running straight up a mountain now. At 20 yards ahead of me, I'm catching up to it, but I still got to stop, take a break, and aim the camera. And it had a white streak right on its back, right above its butt.
Like a skunk.
Like a skunk, but just like a little white strip. We call him Stripes. And he finally gets mad and throws that rock. And whoa! Well, you can actually get it on film. At least I thought I did. So, okay, I got you on film now. So I'm running back down the knob, catch up with her. She's screaming. So I'm running back down the knob. So let's get to the truck. So we're heading to the truck, because we don't know what that scream meant. He might have been calling for backup or something. So we're running through the truck. So we get in the truck. Did you get it? I said, get the camera out there. Let's drive off. Let's get down to the, let's just get on the road, and you find it. He said, guess what? We're riding down the road, and she said, guess what? I said, what? You didn't get it. I said, what do you mean I didn't get it? I had the camera on. I switched the button on. You switched the button off. It was already on.
Oh.
I was hard to live with that night. I was mad that night.
He was pretty mad. But on that episode, it's in the future. You can see him, and I'll try to do something with the footage where you can see him bobbing up behind a log that had fallen, and he goes back down again. Now in episode 5, you see teenager. Our fans are the ones that told us. I never knew that I had him on film at that point, but episode 5, you can see teenager at least once or twice popping his head up behind a log that fell.
That was called the chase.
So if you're on a large screen TV and you go slowly through the footage, you can see him pop his head up and then back down. And I guess I should have had the exact minutes and seconds on that, but I didn't even think about it until now. But
I want to thank all my fans for watching the show and pointing that out to us. The camera, even though you don't get nothing on film yourself, if you go through the woods with the camera and you get other people watching it, they see stuff that you don't see. That's how we got it on film.
And on the episode of The Rock where he got hit in the chest, you can actually see part of his shoulder. And if I remember correctly, just a smidget of his face and then part of his shoulder behind a tree. Had no idea he was that close to us. I don't know how he hid. I don't know how you didn't hear leaves crunching, because that's all you heard under my feet were leaves crunching. How do they tiptoe? How do they do it,
They running off before we get to them is what it is. That's why we can't hear them, because they always stay like 50 yards ahead of you all the time.
When we walk, they walk, and when we're still, they're still, and Yeah. But let's see. Y'all have some questions, and I might show you some more stuff.
I want to thank my turtle fans out there for pointing them.
Yeah.
It was, interesting shots that we had that didn't know we had. So
Of course.
I want to thank y'all. Y'all thank you, man.
Yeah.
I
Look
couldn't
on
do it
all
without
of
you.
them. Look on all the episodes.
When you go hunting
Yeah.
with me with live action, I take my turtle fans with me. They're my eyes. They're my strength, and I'm doing it for them. And you too. Y'all look after me. You're doing this little broadcast here, this little podcast, and I want to thank y'all too for giving me a chance to, tell y'all about things and let people know about things. If you see 1,000 yards, you're happy. I got it on film. Oh my God, there it is. It's Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's right.
But when this thing gets about 50 yards to you, 40 yards, 10 yards, running you, throwing rocks at you, no, you're a different story then. You're try to get away. Tell them how many times you fell down, honey. Tell them.
I don't know, honey. But I want to say that now with our Bigfoot, we've been working with them, and so we're taking the slow approach, wanting them to come to us and taking it easy and this and that, and we're gifting them, they're gifting us, and let me get that one rock. That very, very, very first day when we went looking, that the first day he saw them and we filmed episode 1. Well, I didn't know what was going on, or what I would see, or I kind of was like, oh, we're not going to see anything. But I brought a bag of cookies, That's just me. I brought a bag of cookies to get to them. So sure enough, at the end, I did leave a whole bag of cookies, and I didn't know if they were around.
That thing is eating better than I am. I tell you that right now.
I yelled out, I left you some cookies, and I just yelled it out and I put them down. Well, the next time we were back in the woods, this little rock bowl, if you can see, it has an indentation. This was left on the log. And he said, look, honey, they left you something. And I started laughing like, yeah, right.
Yeah, right. I said, well, where did it come from? Where did the rock come from?
So we never posted that like in the video because I never thought it was a gift until they started leaving gifts. And then I was like, this is really a gift. So I took it not thinking that it was a gift, but how did it get on a log? A raccoon didn't do it. And,
no,
thanks for
rocks
the cookies.
Don't walk.
So such a treasure because they thanked me for the cookies. And so I thought that was cool. And I'm going to show you this. Now y'all are going to laugh. And
you're going to not even believe this one.
There'll probably be some of y'all that don't believe. I'm opening.
I know you ain't going to believe it. I don't even believe it.
You're not going to believe what they left for Christmas. They left us Elmo cookies.
Where did you get Elmo cookies?
Wow.
I'm telling you.
So,
wow.
Yep.
They left that, and I put them all like in this Tupperware. So they're kind of like petrified now.
Yeah, they're kind of petrified.
I thought I'd shellac it, but they've kind of got hard on their own. But I've kept it in this tight Tupperware. Where on the face of this earth would they get those cookies? And they left it for us, and we were laughing and laughing.
They had to rob a camp because there was people out hunting over to the camp, and they had a big deer camp.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And, they had to be the hunters. They had to get it from the hunters down at the camp and brought them all the way back to where we were.
Yeah.
And that's the food plot place where we, give them stuff. And they always leave us gifts. I mean, look at here. We got more gifts right here.
So they left some of these feathers stuck in this bush that they started weaving. And every time we go, the bush gets bigger and bigger and bigger with weaving going on. And they had left these feathers in it. And this was another time.
This is a crow feather, and these are 2 turkey feathers.
Yeah.
They are. And they left them in the tree where they've been weaving. So we've been giving them food. Don't give them cucumbers. Make them mad. That cucumber sat there for about a week. And finally, it took a club and just smashed it and stuck the club right into the cucumber, just left it there. Yeah, don't feed them cucumbers. They don't like those things for sure.
Another thing they left us was like this little fossil.
Yeah.
It's a
brachypod.
I'm trying to. So
it's a little petrified clam, 3 million years old. I call it the beginning of time creatures is what I call
it. It's pretty cool. They left us this rock, and it's like, I don't know if an Indian used it or not. I mean,
kind of sets up like that. Looks like triangle way or something. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's like an egg, but I don't know. But they left it there.
It's like a triangle, like a round triangle. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was like a neat gift. I gotta show you this. This is just awesome. Now this they left in a.
I left them some Fig Newton cookies this time. I mean, they really got right with these Fig Newtons. They must taste like the wild stuff.
There was a trunk of a tree that the tree fell, and the trunk looked like a little nest, if you will, and they had this, and it looks like a bird.
It was standing there like a whippoorwill, and they was hollering over the hill like a whippoorwill during the day. Whippoorwills don't holler during the day, and this thing was 10 times louder than a whippoorwill. And this bird, I got to looking at it, looked like a whippoorwill, and I actually seen a whippoorwill on the ground up close. The brown ones are the females, I guess, and the real pretty ones. There's two kinds of them. One real got bright colors. They're the males, and then there's a female that's got brown and black colors, and they lay on the ground with their eggs. And their eggs are real camouflage, look just like oak leaves. And I finally found a nest of the whippoorwill, and I was going to go take a picture of the whippoorwill nest. And I never could find that whippoorwill nest again. That's how well they're camouflaged. Very rare to find a whippoorwill nest. But they left that stone there that looks like a whippoorwill.
Huh. That is cool.
Yeah.
And it was sitting in that little rock there in that nest. And in that stump, I meant. It was in that stump, and it's shaped looks like a whippoorwill sitting on the nest.
And quite often they leave us wreaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a woven, like I can't hardly pronounce it.
It's just
language.
woven, honey. It's
woven.
Yeah.
A wreath.
That reminds me.
I didn't get a good look at that.
I gotta show them something better.
Okay, you got something better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me grab behind y'all.
This is really this. Nobody's gonna believe this, but this is the best weaving I've ever seen.
I haven't touched this since we
haven't touched it since we found it so delicate. So we're kind of really careful with it. And this is the way we found it.
So they took this grass. Let me try to. Okay, going this way. They took this grass and they made like a little weaving or a little nest, and then I had left them a bunch of stuff, just a bunch of toys and a bunch of necklaces and everything. So with this right here, they took some of the stones off. And I don't know how, but they tied it. And do you see how that's tied onto that little tiny piece of grass?
Get it up closer.
You see how it's tied onto that little piece of grass?
Yeah.
They did that, and they took some of the stones off, and they kept some of the stones. And they actually tied in this cross right here. I can't find the cross.
It's in there.
Well, it's right here
hanging.
It's hanging, but the cross is like in here somewhere.
They got it weaved in there so good. It's just like embedded in there. It's wrapped around it.
Here it is. Can y'all see the cross?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was really, really
That's
cool.
the best weaving thing we've got gifted so far. We got other things too that's really nice.
And one thing that I thought was,
but they eat me out of house and home. I want to eat those bananas.
Sorry, these are for Daddy. But one thing that I thought was pretty cool was on one of the episodes where we found the big snails and a lot of arrowheads and stuff. I had made some crosses and left them under that overhang and prayed over the Indian spirits from a long time ago, because with God, there's no time. And so I prayed prayers for the Native Americans. And so that, hoping that God could take those prayers and bring them back however long ago. So I made those little crosses, put it in the ground. Well, sometime later, when we went to the gifting area, those crosses were in the bush where I tell you they keep weaving stuff. Now, I have heard that with Bigfoot, an X is like a welcoming thing, and it's a thing that they always do. But a cross, if you turn it sideways, can look like an X, but they did not put it as an X. They put it as a cross, straight up and down, and it has been there ever since. We've never touched it.
Yeah, we figured that's like when we made peace with them, when they seen she made the crosses over here and they moved it back to this place.
A long
and made a big weave in it, so we don't touch that cross. So maybe it's their peace sign offering, as maybe they thought we was making peace with them, so they gave it back to us. So we got a peace offering, I reckon that's what we call it.
When I think about it, I think that was the episode where Teenager and Baby were throwing a little acorn or a little pebble,
and
it hit my back.
And freaked her out again. Ow!
He was on us the whole day, and so he probably saw me making it and saw me stick it in the ground, and I don't know, I'm just guessing.
And we hike at woods all the time. When Lolly Dog was living, we was on the four-wheeler driving up the trail, and we just stopped to eat a bite, and we see a little place where arrowheads are washing out of a bank, so we get off and picking up arrowheads, and Lolly goes, whoa.
Yeah.
And she's sniffing in the air on the four-wheeler. I was like, what is it, girl? And all of a sudden, this big knot comes right below the.
I was filming you that day. I was, yeah, and we got it on film.
We got it on film, but we didn't know what it was then. I said, somebody down in the woods, or what is that? We didn't know it was a Bigfoot. We hadn't even thought about a Bigfoot. Lolly Dog heard it, and she was sitting there, hair all bushed up. I said, I don't know what Lolly Dog sees, but it's so wild down there. She wouldn't go after it, but she sat there and kept her eyes on it, like she followed it with her eyes and her ears. Her ears are straight up on her, and she's watching that little valley. Then up on top of the mountain where the Lookout Bluff is, we hear 5 knocks up there. They was communicating. So we put 2 and 2 together after we done figure out what we was after. A month later, or whatever long it was, I guess it was next year, after Lolly Dog passed away. She passed away on December 14th, 2019. I guess it's just about after that. And that's when we started putting 2 and 2 together. When we heard them knocks, we thought it was somebody hunting or something, but we think it was the Bigfoots communicating. And that's the only thing we can figure out. And that's why Lolly Dog was barking.
Yeah.
This is the place where we get all our activities at, and all our weavings and gifts, and we feed them, they give us a gift. So, I don't know what else to say. Y'all got any questions?
I've got it.
Well, Turtlegal, have you got any? You've got some more evidence that you can show us, don't you?
Well, I just thought this was pretty cool because y'all remember when we left the honey water and we found the bucket thing way up in the tree.
Yeah.
10 feet up in the air.
We left it there
in a tree.
forever, and then finally I think it fell down.
It finally fell off. Finally, after
I
2 or 3 months.
That was just too cool. And this was the one of the jars that we had used. And
now, what's interesting about this jar is you see this paper? That shouldn't be coming off. So they say Bigfoot's got some kind of sweat on their hands, oil, and when they grab this is what made the paper dissolve on this here honey water. Well, this honey, it was honey in there, but they eat all the honey. And you can see this, it might be that oil that's on their palm of their hands.
Yeah.
We just figured this out too, that might be what dissolved the paper on this.
So one cool thing, and you'll see that in future episodes, is that we found a couple of areas where they're stashing their peanut butter jars.
And again, here we go again. Here's that there where they grab it with their hands and hold on to it, like this. And there's the fingerprint right there.
And let me show you.
I can't get used to this thing here, but here's would be the palm of their hand right here.
Let me show
on this side where the palm of the hand would be.
And I think there was some dirt. So they took a stick, and there's a little bit of a stick inside there. I don't know if you can see it, like right.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
And then there's a little bit of dirt on the inside of the lid right there at the top. That's dirt.
Yeah, we don't know how he got in there, but anyway, they eat dirt and all and peanut butter.
So what's cool is that one area that was kind of like I don't know, they had like a tree down and they had bamboo around and other trees bent over, and
they had this bamboo tied her all up and just weaving and made it like a little hut.
We found
really interesting. That was.
We found one jar that was underneath the log with a stick right next to it, leaning up, and then we found another one that was. It looked like it was way more empty than this, so I think that jar was done, but it was way up in a tree.
Yeah, it was another 10 foot up in the tree. We don't even know how it got up there.
So what was so funny is that next to the peanut butter jar up in the tree, it was wedged in a branch, and I don't know where, but they found a helium balloon, those foil ones, and they had it tied around the branch. And I guess they just thought it was pretty or something. I don't know. And so that was one place that we found and filmed everything we could. Another place was in this tree that was hollowed out. And so that's where we found this peanut butter jar and some of the little snack papers, that they left.
One thing about Bigfoot, they don't litter. They always stack their paper back or bring it back to your spot where you're feeding them. And they'll put that paper in a tree or in a holler log, but they'll make sure you see it where you can pick it up to show that they were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you understand that.
Well, I've heard of them bringing out where people dump their trash from camping and stuff, and they'll bring it out if they're friendly with you, thinking that you'll take it out of the woods for them. So
yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
I think it's a beautiful thing, and that's when we realized that they had a lot of intelligence when they didn't throw stuff on the ground like a wild animal.
I really freaked. Turtle Girl got freaked out one day. I'm telling you about the reef. Now, one reef that she reeved them and put it on their gifting area.
That was the first time they left me a wreath, and so I made them a wreath back.
She freaks out.
Now, so I wondered if I had made the wreath as a yes to a marriage proposal and said yes back and gave the wreath. I was freaking out.
Yeah, this is the time that we heard the rooster crowing. He's a yelling. I mean, every day he did it 10 or 12 times. He's freaking out, isn't he? That ain't a real rooster, is it? No, that's Bigfoot right there. That's a teenager. He's watching you, baby. Oh my God, I want to give him a whip, man. I'm going to the drug. Well, here we go.
Well, at least he didn't imitate a turkey and was up there gobbling and come down strutting.
Well, we heard turkeys too. We heard owls. We heard meows, cats, dogs. He ain't turned on now. That's how they remember Bugs Bunny. Every time they see a pretty gal, they go, oh! Stuff like a coyote or something.
One time, there's so many stories to tell. One time we were out in the woods and
freaking her out.
No,
freaking her out again. You're doing that dog coyote holler.
All right, listen. So we turned the four-wheeler off, and then we hear a whoop, and then we heard one whisper whoop, and then another one went whoop whoop.
We almost called them that time. We went too far from. Luckily, the leaves were still on the trees that day. It was if the leaves would have been off, we would have got to see them because we was like 10 yards from them that day.
Yeah,
we done snuck up on them. They must have been napping or something.
I thought it was funny when one whispered whoop and the other one went whoop whoop.
Then we hear the knock about 20 minutes later. We hear the knock start again. Bam! We started knocking. I said, "Oh, we got it. We on the trail again, but I don't know which one to follow."
That's cool. And at the beginning, when we started gifting and we found that banana, and I couldn't figure out why half of it was eaten and the other half was still there. And it was like still ripe, and bananas turn brown very quickly, you know. So we were wondering, well, why did we show up and they were freaking out and put it back down, or we didn't know. But after several times of gifting them, this is one that I know this is petrified too. Inside this little container,
my honey buns, there I am starving again.
I put one honey bun here and one honey bun here.
On here every day.
They left me like a little piece. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And they gave that back to me, so I've never touched it.
Didn't leave me none. Hungry.
I think now they don't really eat half and then leave you half, but they were doing it a lot at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And here's one thing that they're still doing. Take any person, and if you leave a buffet out or you leave them a bag of cookies, they'll take the whole thing, right? Not Bigfoot. Even last week, it was 2 weeks ago going into last week, we left them 3 different things: a jar of peanut butter, a thing of Oreos, and a
chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, because they love the chocolate chip cookies.
I'm hungry again.
But they one at a time. So like every few days, every couple of days, they would take one, then another 2 days take one. So they don't take it all, not all the time, and hog it, So I think that's pretty interesting.
They always take the peanut butter first. I never could figure that out. I don't know if it lasts longer or I bet they got to be around water when you eat peanut butter, because you can't holler or nothing. Yeah. It's like you put something around. You're not going to be whispering afterwards. So it's gonna that's what you're going to sound like. That might be why we ain't been here in a while no more.
It may be.
The peanut butter on it.
Every time I leave them Tupperware, I swear, girls, they leave the Tupperware. They give it back to you in the tree or whatever.
But you got to tell them, because if you don't, they'll run off with it.
with this bag, a lot of times I leave stuff in little baggies. It's funny because with the Tupperware, they can take the lid off. They can take the lid back. But with this baggie, it's a Ziploc. They can't undo that.
They're too bigger fingers. They got the big fingers are too big. They rip it in half. Every Ziploc bag, they rip it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think it's funny that they can't just take that and open it. They rip the bag open.
Yeah, they rip the bag open. And you all try to rip a Ziploc baggie. It takes pretty good little amount of strength to do that. Yeah. I mean, that's a clean rip. Like, that you can tell they're struggling.
Yeah.
But it's pretty straight. But you try to do it, you can't do it. It'll stretch before it'll break. So y'all try to do that. Just do an experiment on things. That's what we've been doing. We've been experimenting and getting more wiser and wiser to them. I also, somebody told me they can make a tea when they get sick. So I find a little thing over where I got hit. Well, almost got hit by another rock. This is after like the 3rd day. So they said they can make a tea when they get sick.
That's what.
And they build a little fire. So I said, well, that's my next episode, looking for fire. So here's what I find. I find the fire. Turtleman goes hunting for something. I find what it is.
There were only like 2 or 3 little sticks, and then they were.
It wasn't a big fire, just enough to warm up some water. But I found some big chunks of sticks that's been burned. Yeah, so they sit there was camping out. One of them must have been a little sick, so they must have got some ginseng root or some yellow root or whatever they use for medicine, and made a little tea out of it. Maybe they use willow bark. I don't know what they use. I haven't figured I guess they just like an Indian or a Native American. Might be related. They know what to get in the woods to heal themselves.
This was in Tennessee, and there was not like a fire pit built, or there was just some leaves, but leaves covered the whole ground. The whole forest could have caught on fire, but it was just a little bit of sticks, just hardly burnt. So we don't know. Mm-hmm. It's not like they had a bonfire. It
should have been a bonfire there. It wasn't a bonfire. It was just a little campfire to brew up something. Yeah. So that's going to be on one of our episodes coming up. It is to show what we found. Y'all be really amazed at that episode, what the evidence we found at that location. Man, that was a beautiful location.
And we did find a little book that
They done stole from a kid, baby. I don't know. Old Meow's back. Woohoo! Old Meow, boy, he said it's Trap World. Old Meow did.
That's another episode. But anyway, I had left him a bunch of Easter stuff, food galore, and just stuff for the little baby ones. I don't know, And so months later, we get this back with the gifts that they left us. Now look, I mean, there's a little bit of water damage, but not a lot.
It might be their oil on their skin too. It might be their fingerprints on it. Show it again, right there. Well, it might be their fingerprint. We might think it's
there's a scratch and stuff on it. But my point being is that this was kept for months. And they kept it dry somehow.
They kept it dry.
Because this has fur on it and stuff. So they kept it dry, and then they re-gifted us. So that's kind of cool.
So we always test our Bigfoot to see what they like, and they're interested just as much as we are. They are. I mean, they're interested in us as much as we're interested in them. So we're, instead of chasing them, we're trying to sneak up on them now with gifts and stuff, using the, what do you call it, honey, the friendly approach instead of chase and catch.
Yeah, you'll never get them chasing them. You'll get hurt.
You'll get hurt. Finally, they'll get tired of it, and you'll get hurt.
So look at all the gifts we've gotten, and there's way more. This doesn't even touch everything. But taking the approach of being loving and trying to give and not to rule over them, not to chase their children and get whacked yourself, but just to be friendly with them, and then want to learn and want to interact with each other.
I got one thing I want to show you now that I've been trying to get. It's been raining so much I can't get into the swamp to get after these, but I did find 3 sets of footprints, and one of them's only got 1 toe. I'm after old 1 toe now. He ain't got these 4 toes. He's only got that 1 big toe, and it's in the mud.
It was a very deep print.
Deep print.
1 big daddy toe.
1 big toe, and then there's another 1 big long track. It's good, and long and wide, and then we got 1 with claws, man. I mean, big long claws. We don't know what that is. Yeah. I mean, it's big and it's got claws. Yeah. But we found out in the swamp. They captured this turtle. This is going to be on one of our episodes.
Yes, this
is crazy. Yeah. We found a turtle just splintered, smashed.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big turtle. I mean, this probably weigh about 50 to 55 pound turtle right here. I mean, this thing is huge.
His jaw was over here, and his body was cracked open over here. The body was like what? Big, what? Was it cracked in half? The actual back?
Whatever it was, it pulled its head plumb off. You can actually see where it got crushed right here. It cracked this.
Bring it up.
I'm sorry, I can't get used to this. You can see the crush lines where it grabbed it right through here. You can see where it just smashed this in with its hand, and it cracked this other side too, right through there. You can see the cracks where it grabbed it. Of course, I can't get used to the film.
Yeah.
Right through there.
The bottom jaw was...
It ripped his head plumb off. Throws it about 10 yards away from the body. So, we find this big body. The legs are ripped off. All the meat's gone off of it. The legs, the tail. But in the shell, it grabs its shell and pulls all that back plumb out. I mean, it's got a big hole right in the middle of the shell where it would just rip its guts plumb out of it to kill this turtle. And that's a big turtle. It weighed about 50 pounds. You ought to have seen the shell. I would have loved to have had a turtle match with that thing. I'd have been yanking on him out of the mud. I'd have been taking it to the zoo. That was a big saboteur. It was about big as the one me and Squirrel caught on our show. Man, it was a monster. 123 pound. Me and Squirrel caught one. 123 pound back in my younger days when I was 18 years old. Man, that was a good old day. That was a big turtle. Me and Frenchie's got one. If y'all want to see it, down in Thibodaux or Greenwood Zoo in Louisiana. That's where we caught the 160-pound alligator snapping turtle. We saved it, finally captured it, had a hook in it. Me and Frenchie on the swamp people get the hook out, and we take it down there to the Greenwood Gator Farm. And he said we had a turtle bigger than that. And I said, I want to see it. So I said, I'll give you this one to put it in there with it. So my big turtle, 160 pounds, broke my record. We didn't want nobody killing it, so we put it in the zoo.
They would have killed
Greenwood Zoo, Gator Farm. Me and Frenchie. Yep. If y'all ever want to see it, it's on our webpage and everything. And we save animals. I love saving animals. And I still do it. And I even saved a green snake last week. It was going to get killed, and I saved it. And I said, them green snakes, I'm afraid I was going to kill it. No, don't kill it. I just get it. Put it on.
Now, you don't think that was a female Sasquatch trying to court you and bring you a turtle, do you?
We had never been in that area. And that was like one of the first things we see when we get in the swamp. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God. And we followed tracks through the swamp.
Because it's so mushy.
We like to froze that day. That's when it started snowing. I mean, it was cold. The wind was blowing. It was like 20 degrees. The wind made it feel like 14. The water was even froze out in the middle of the swamp. But we still tracked them tracks around that swamp. But we got so cold we couldn't. Our batteries kept going down. I thought they just come back when it warms up. But now it's been raining. And everything's flooded now. Can't get down in the swamp, so we're gonna have to go back up in the highland.
I think maybe one toad needs you to teach it how to catch turtles.
Wrong with him, man. He what killed it.
That's right.
These turtles, woohoo! Tell him how that turtle boy does it. That guy with that hat on. That's what they call me, the guy with the coon hat. I don't know how. Got it hanging down the back there. He ain't scared of nothing.
Now, is y'all's investigations? Are they like just daytime investigations? Has anybody tried to camp out there?
You can't get little girl camp out. I used to camp out till that happened.
I camped out like out in the woods. Nah, there's too many coyotes, too many bobcats, too many snakes, too many mosquitoes. Actually, now in the woods, I am completely comfortable because I really, with all my heart, feel like Bigfoot would help me if they were around, if like I was alone. And as a matter of fact,
he's gonna help her, all right. They said he'll be that coyote holler again.
Earlier in the summer, he was gone. And I wanted to go out in the woods because I was missing Bigfoot. So I went out by myself.
Many days of training.
Okay, so I'm sitting there and I make a million calls and I never hear anything, whatever. So I kind of get bored. So I'm sitting on a log and I guess I get on Facebook, look on my phone and all that. And so then all of a sudden I hear this great big mean bull. But I mean, you're in the middle of the woods,
ain't
trees
no bull in the
like
middle
this
of the woods.
far apart, there's no bull out there. And I stood up and then I went, oh, it's Bigfoot. And so then I didn't know what to do. So I went, hey! It sounded like this wild bird, just like nothing that I've ever heard before, but absolutely ear piercing. And I've got that on audio. But I wasn't expecting the mean bull, so I don't have that on audio. But I've got him leaving. And it's almost like he was excited to run off and go tell everybody I was there or something. I don't know, but I was cracking up laughing.
You can explain the bird?
No, it's like not a bird I've ever heard. It just sounds weird, and you can hear it taking off. I really have to put this down. I might actually have to get you guys to help me raise the audio up on it,
Sure.
For the show, but I'm not afraid to be in those woods anymore because I really feel like if I were alone, I feel like they would come to my rescue. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling.
Good, yeah.
I'd like to have the big guys on my side.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Debbie Jones says that y'all are invited to the all-female research group. And if Turtlegal ever wants to come, and they are really successful out in the field where it's just women out in the field camping, looking for Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, I'd want to be, looking too. What's going on over there?
Here's one thing. I kind of feel like when you've been in the woods for years and they know who you are well before you even know they're there, I think they're okay with you because you have this understanding. It's for both of y'all, and you know what I mean? But every time we go in new territory,
they're a little violent at first.
They have 3 out of 3 times in Tennessee we have had rocks thrown at us.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, in Tennessee, on the 3rd time we had a rock thrown at us, I said, I will not let them leave. We will not leave them angry, because in case another person is out here one day, I don't want them to get hit by a rock. I said, I'm turning this around right now.
Yep.
He's like, what are you going to do? I said, thank you. I said, thank you for the rock. And I said, can I have another one?
I'm ducking. I'm like going under this. I'm going under a log. I'm thinking, I'm hiding. Okay.
Where did I put the little rock?
I don't know.
Oh, here it is.
Okay, here it is.
So they throw this and it hits my boot, okay?
Get her in the car now!
Because we were next to the car, we had another couple with us at that time.
I had an ER guy with me, Trent, and he was making sure I still had a bruise on my chest, on my heart, that was really hurting, and he had to, make sure he said, don't pick up nothing.
He had heart murmurs and everything, and he told him, do not pick up anything heavy or you could just go. I mean, that rock, for a month and a half, he had bruises on
all
his
in
whole
my chest,
but
all up and down my shoulder, all around, all the way through my back. I mean, luckily it didn't kill me from the bruise, set up blood clot, but I'm pretty tough. I can take a hit now.
So only if they wanted you to take it, because
he wanted me to take it. All right, that rock. Let's get you hit by that rock. That's what it feels like.
I think that their accuracy is right on. And he didn't mean to kill you, I don't think, but he meant to hurt you.
He meant to hurt me.
So he doesn't chase them now.
No,
so
that broke me from chasing them.
That's But so we're by this bridge out in Tennessee, and the car is parked right there, and you hear bam, bam, right? They're throwing rocks at that bridge. And I said, I'm going to go get you a gift. And I ran to the car and I got a bunch of chocolates and just whatever. And I left it on the bridge, and I was walking to the bridge with the rocks being thrown at that point, because this one was a little toss and it hit my boot. So I knew that they weren't trying to hurt me. They were trying to play with us. These were a lot of young ones. I've got him on film, and he will be in season 2.
Yeah, we got him.
Yes.
Yeah. Old Meow, what we named him, because he was acting like a little kitten at first, and I said, "It ain't no little kitten. Y'all be watching. That ain't no kitten."
They were making meow sounds, but it was freaking us out.
It was freaking you out. There ain't no kitten. I said, that was Meow. They came in with Meow.
Ours in Kentucky did a little kitten meow too, and I thought that was kind of funny because
it was a little bit louder, and they went like, wow.
We're like, yeah.
Hey, Bobcat.
Wow. No, but it was Bigfoot though. It wasn't,
that was him.
Yeah.
I know it was him. I ain't no doubt. Yeah. I know what's out there. When something makes your hair stand up, you know it's there. You just got to see it. You got to try to see it. Right now is a good time to start seeing them because all the leaves are falling, the underbrush in the trees. You can see movements now too. And a lot of these people are getting these night vision things now, and you can see all the heat sensors and stuff. And I'm freaking out over one of them. I said, "Do they work in the daytime?" He goes, "Not quite, but they do work." So he was showing me that you can use them in the daytime too. They got a daytime one now. This one guy was showing me you can put your hand on the tree and take it off, and you can still see your handprint on the tree where your heat sensor was, where you touched it.
Yeah.
Weird. I said, "Man, get me one of those, man."
Yeah.
And I gotta give me one of these other things too, a rangefinder. She's always jumping on me. You don't know how far it was. I know 50 yards. Well, it might not be 50 yards. Well, it was 60. Well, it might not be 60. Well, it's 30 yards. Well, what's 30 yards? I'll get me a rangefinder. If I have to save my money up for the whole year, I will get me one of them.
I don't think when Bigfoot's going to be right there, he's like, "Excuse me, let me get my rangefinder. Hold still."
What we're gonna do? Any other questions, sir? Let's get some questions answered. See if we got some questions out there.
All right. If anybody has any questions, put them in all caps and we will throw them up there. And I saw where Debbie Jones said again that Turtlegal has an open invitation anytime that she wants to go camping with the Sisters of the Moon.
That's right.
Day.
Just make sure the car and truck's there where you can get in and out. I just now got it broken in the daytime. I don't know about that. Yeah, y'all remember that?
I love our Bigfoot. I do. When I don't go out in the woods for a while, I start like missing them, and my heart is just tearing at me. And you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We did leave a blanket for them. We left 4 blankets. And,
for Christmas.
For Christmas.
And a big crate.
And a big crate. And it sat there. That crate sat there for like a month. And I said, well, they just don't want nothing out of it. Oh, little did I know. I said, let's just go check it. They ain't going to touch it. So we go over and finally just open it up, to see if everything wasn't molded and stuff. One thing they took out of that crate, and they didn't take the camouflage blanket. They didn't take the regular jacket. They didn't take the red and, striped blanket, the red and white blanket. We had one rabbit fur coat. They took it. Oh. That's the only thing that was missing. We never noticed it till we opened it. That's why the crate was still sitting there. But we found it.
I figured they would like, dark colored blankets. I don't think I had my red and white striped one. I had my camos and things like that to kind of hide. I thought they would use it as a pillow or use it for the baby or, not even necessarily to cover with, but maybe to lay on or I don't know. I mean,
just trying something new.
The only thing they took was the one.
The fur coat. They took the rabbit coat.
It was a rabbit blanket.
A rabbit blanket or coat? I can't remember. Anyway, it was a blanket. It was made out of rabbit fur, real pretty. And that's the only thing that was missing out of that crate from all those blankets. And that was gone.
Huh. So they took the natural
blanket. The natural blanket.
Yeah.
Okay. Lester Taylor wants to know that the helium balloon that was up in the tree, what color was it?
I can go get it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a blue thing. Blue? Is it blue?
I don't know. Why don't you talk to them?
Yeah,
I'll go get it. Just give me I don't have it right here, but just hold on.
That's fine.
Talk to them.
Yeah. It's a blue helium balloon. I find them in the woods when I'm out in the woods hiking. Sometimes I find one here, one here, but they're always laying on the ground. They're not up in a tree, like wrapped around a tree like this one was. It was exciting, that was. And that's where we found the little hut place, too, made out of bamboo. That river cane, if you know what that is. And the rivers are like, man, it's like, 30 miles from bamboo.
So on the way to go get it, I realized, the one that is up in the tree with the peanut butter, that one is still there. This
we can't reach that one, but here's the one we got now.
This is a different one that they had put in near a tree near the gifting area, and I just took the whole thing because this is what they did. So this is I have not touched all that. That's how they wrapped it. And this was the
This thing is like 9 foot to 10 foot up in the tree now.
Yeah.
Well, this one, no,
This is the
other
second
one, yeah, the other one was really high. That one's still there. This one,
We'll give y'all pictures next time we go over. We'll show you what we found.
well, I mean, it'll be in one of the episodes, you know.
And it'll be in the episode too. The blue one is.
Yeah.
Well, both of them probably.
Go ahead, honey. I can't talk. She knows it more than I do. They may want to watch it. I'm forgetting, I guess.
It's in future
Brain
episodes.
damage, you know.
Future
Scared so bad we got brain damage, I think. I know she's getting forgetful. I've got to watch her.
Both of us are.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, Glenn Snyder asked, do you have any idea how many are on the land around there? How many that might be living there?
We count 4.
But
we've never seen one of them. But we've seen 3 of them. A baby one and a teenager one and the mama. We found the daddy's footprints, but it's not castable because it's always in tall grass. And
Daddy's footprint is way
bigger than that one.
Way bigger than Mama.
Maybe more, 4 or 5 more inches bigger than that one. We figured that one's Daddy. But we've not seen him yet.
What's interesting is that at the time that I was seeing a lot of tracks with the baby, every once in a while I would see one other track that was a different size. It wasn't teenager, baby, or mama, but it was closer to the teenager size. And I was like, well, who's this? You know? and I thought that was interesting. So maybe it was a passerby. Maybe it was a friend. You know, I mean, I don't know. Every once in a while we see a different size track, but not very often.
Now, we figured that the territory that these 3 Bigfoots roam, what I have gathered in my hiking abilities, they probably do a whole county, maybe 2 counties, and possibility 4 counties. They'll make a complete circle around these 4 counties, back and forth. They got to go where the deer are at. If you got plenty of deer, you're probably liable to see a Bigfoot. But when you see the deer just, you know, like getting thin, they'll travel onward to go get more territory. Or maybe they want to go visit other Bigfoots in other counties, or some Bigfoots come to your county. And hopefully they're traveling back and forth and communicating, which I am trying to find that hookup, that meeting place where they're traveling the trail. It's really hard to find in 4 or 5 counties around you. But once you get on like we've been tracking these 4, now we got 4 more or 3 more down in the swamp area. So we're tracking at least 6 now, maybe 7. But we've seen 3 in the swamp and 4 in Kentucky, and over where I live, down in them valleys. And over here in this another, you know, county over like in the swampy area, it's like another 3 sets of tracks. And these are totally different ones from ours. They don't even have the same feet. Then down in London, Kentucky, I found one down there with big long claws too, but it's only one we've only seen down there. It's got like a foot with toes, but at the end of the toes, it's like 3, 4, 5, 6 claws. It's like big long claws. I'd have to get a picture. I'd have to look at it. It's like just claws. It's just
it was
like
weird.
where it's mangled the ground. I mean, it's just really crazy. That's a totally different one.
I don't want to see whatever that is.
I don't even want to see that one. My buddy Buck was with me. We was down there looking for Indian arrowheads, walking up the creek. And then we come across this here muddy place, and there's all these tracks. And he goes, get me to the truck now. I'm out of here because I don't want to run up on this side. And he runs up the bank, and there's a tree. I just splintered. I mean, it just shredded this tree. He goes, okay, I seen all I want to see now. I'm going back down the creek. If you ain't coming, I'll meet you at the truck. But the truck might not be here when you get there, Ernie, Turtleman. So I'm going to get the here. I said, I'm right behind you because I don't want to meet this thing either. So we ain't been back down there yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Dwayne Ayers asked, have either one of you 2 given each Bigfoot a name? And if so, why those names?
Well,
Daddy.
we call one Daddy, and we ain't never met him yet because Mama been there that scared me to death. Got my warning light blinking again. And after,
Mama, teenager, and baby.
yeah, and after the teenager one, we figured that was teenager with that foot tracker. And after she hit him on the head. She was dominant. She was teaching him a lesson. There's a human down there. You could have got yourself killed because you was only 30 yards in front of him. And this time, I was like 20 yards in front of him. I could have shot it with a gun, like bam! It'd have been laying there on the ground. I could have crippled it. I don't know what the Bigfoot would have done to me, so I didn't shoot. So I didn't have my gun. I wouldn't have shot it no way. But somebody might have been praying a hoax. I don't know.
No, he wouldn't have shot because he wasn't being.
Well, I know that. They know that, honey. They know I'm not a killer. I'm not. If I was not a killer, I could have done killed it. But I'm not a killer. I'm a hunter. I track it. If y'all want to catch it, I'm going to get it on film. I might not be able to grab it, but I will get it on film. That's how I'm going to catch it. And y'all can start to see it on my episodes too, because we got my fans looking on the videos that we can't see, and we got our fans looking, and they're showing us where it is. We're not showing them, but we don't see it.
I don't have a really big screen TV. You know, my computer that I do those on, I mean, it's decent size, you know, but they have a great big wall screen TV, and they're seeing it right there, and they say what minute, what second. So that's on episode 5, and then the one with the rock, you see his shoulder. And
we call this the new generation. They telling us what we see, don't see.
In season 2, yeah, 2 more Bigfoot in season 2.
Yeah, they got more, you know, abilities nowadays. New TVs. These new TVs are bad to the bone. I've been hearing about them, but I haven't seen them. I ain't got enough money. I don't know how to hook one up, so I just don't have no TV. I just go out and find it.
Okay. Ruth asked, how many encounters have y'all had?
Oh my God, really? Countless encounters. Yeah, I've seen them at least 7 to 8 times now, and we've heard them just about every time we go out. We sometimes we hear them, sometimes we don't, but most likely you're going to find them once you get close. You'll start hearing, when you start getting close to one, you'll start hearing knocks and animal sounds that you've never heard, and 10 times louder. Like if you hear a bird, like a goose, it'll be 10 times louder than a normal goose. I mean, they're mock animals like owls in the daytime. Owls don't regularly holler during the day. You think it'll be an owl? You'll holler about 6 or 7 times and quit. Oh, they're not an owl. That's them communicating.
I remember how many were there doing the owl calls?
4 owl calls.
And then I did an owl call. Back. Of course, I'm not that great. And I heard a girl laughing. I heard a girl laughing, and I think it's Mama, I guess.
It's Mama.
She was laughing, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I think it's on film.
I think we got it.
I think so.
We got that.
So I know that y'all would have to pull it up with the volume for me, you know, but we definitely have them hooting and all that, and you can hear them great. I hope you can hear her laughing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Okay. Jason asked, have you ever found any Bigfoot evidence around any sacred Indian burial grounds?
Not yet. Not no sacred burial grounds. I don't know no burial grounds to be found, but I do know where Indian campsites are. And there is one campsite. They will go around a campsite, but not a burial site that I know of. I mean, they don't go around human graveyards. They don't go around there.
Well, we don't have any around to know, so you know.
There's a graveyard down the road from back in the woods. I know where a graveyard is. Sits down the woods, back off the road. You can drive to it, but I've been by a graveyard a million times. I've never seen nothing standing out in the graveyard. If I did, I'd be scared like that 9-year-old boy I was again. I won't another year till I figured out what it was.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. The graveyard is not a good place to be. At night. Squirrel, I'll be like squirrel. Squirrel like they go over in that little building. I'm out here in all these graveyards, all these. Well, you don't remember that episode or not. Yeah.
Okay. Sheila Kendrick asked, have they ever come near y'all's house?
Not the house, no. Never. They never come near the house.
I have heard stories though of
I've heard stories.
other people have Bigfoot on their property and they started gifting them, but then they start beating on their doors and walls and windows and garages and all that. So, I mean, I've heard that they get really destructive and irritating and all that. So, I don't know. I'm just letting y'all know, don't try to lure them to your house because that could be dangerous. Please don't ever leave your children. Like, don't go on Bigfoot hunts with little kids and this and that. I mean,
we don't know. It's still unpredictable what they can do and might do. We don't know. And
you don't know if they would want to kidnap one. Maybe they
make
lost
a pet out of it. Make a pet.
Yeah. Or maybe a mother lost their Bigfoot baby, and they want to take your child, or maybe they want to hurt y'all or hurt the adult, but not the kid. And the kid has to fend for himself. I mean, don't take the kids.
Yeah,
it's not a game.
Not a game. We advise not to. Y'all do what you want, but I'm telling the grown-up this. I'm telling you grown-ups this. By experience of me being scared. Even though I'm brave now, but when I'm out in the woods, I'm still got my warning light coming on. Like, what am I thinking? That's when I'm getting nervous. I carry the gun to shoot up in the air sometimes. I even quit carrying that because I got people, yelling at me. I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to shoot it. And I'm sitting there going like, all right, I'll leave the gun at home.
We're not going to shoot it, but there's so many coyotes out there.
I've been attacked by coyotes 6 times, and I had to shoot them off of me. Luckily, I had my gun, and I had to kill 3 of them with my knife because they were trying to eat me up. Luckily, I had a thick coat on. They was biting through the coat, but I had to do what I had to do to stay alive.
And we've been out fossil hunting, and there would be a bobcat
run at her.
Yeah, so I've had coyotes, not that, I don't know how far, 20 feet,
far.
Scoping me with their eyes. I mean, I'm freaking out, So,
back up slowly, honey. Back up slowly. Just keep backing up. Just back up slowly.
It's scary sometimes, so that's why we...
Rattlesnakes, you gotta, if you go hunting in the summer and you go by bushes, please watch your feet. We was right by a rattlesnake on one of our episodes where we found this little blind. It's a hunting blind made out of pine trees.
I didn't know. My blood pressure was up and my ears were
can't hear them.
I didn't hear a thing until I was getting the editing going. And I'm like, what the heck? And I was like, I listened to it 50 times. There's a rattlesnake. Every time I would move, he'd rattle. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
One of my episodes, I almost stepped on a copperhead. Luckily, I had my stick with me that day. I whack. Y'all don't see me. I make a little quick movement, and you'll see the hand go over my shoulder. Like, what? What Turtleman doing there? I was like, that wasn't nothing, honey. Just keep walking.
Okay.
If you don't fear anybody, just holler, snake! Everybody scatter like cockroaches when you turn the light on.
Okay.
Anything else?
Barbara Locke, one of the Sisters of the Moon, asked, Turtleman, do you think having a female partner has been beneficial to your research?
Yes, it has. It's got me closer. When you got a female with you, I think the Bigfoot tolerate you more, and they'll play with you more and play jokes on you more. So but you got to train your partner to be brave.
You got to train your partner not to run after him and get squished like a pin.
To get brave.
But
somebody's got to drive the truck in case I do get hurt.
We have gotten more evidence and more gifts and more everything since we took the low approach.
The female approach. Yes. So Bigfoots do notice the females to be the peaceful people. So the mans, I don't know, but when it comes to male Bigfoot against a male, and they know you're a male and you're dominant and you're trying to push them and run them, you're gonna be in trouble. But if you got a female with you, you might have to back up. So she might save your life. You got that female in front of you, and then you're gonna pick her up and pack her up. Get the film now, honey. Get the film.
I honestly think that if I if the day that he got hit by the rock in his chest, if he was with another man and I was not there, and both of them were being aggressive and all that, I really don't think they would have made it out of the woods alive. Yeah. I really don't. And I really, really, really thought that he was going to get me too. Either, hit me with a rock, kill me, or take me. One of the three, but he wound up not. I was praying like there was no tomorrow too. I hope Jesus, was totally protecting us. But I think the subtle approach is the way to go. Yeah. You'll always get far more with them. Now think about it. If me and him, or let's say me and a child were out in the woods, and two men come running up to my family or something like that, we're going to take some action. But if you're like, oh, hi, and I have these apples here, I'll put them down, or I've got these cookies, I'll leave them for you, and I'm going to go, but nice to meet you. Well, then you'll be like, oh, and you'll want to maybe be curious about them, and you'll start interacting with each other. But if you start chasing them, you're getting a death call on you. Yeah.
Get them rocks thrown at you again. Thrown at you, believe me. At nighttime. That's why I don't go at night after getting hit by a rock during the day. And I seen them in the mornings, and I could draw it out for you, like on a piece of paper, what I saw. And they're just one silver. The one I seen at 9 years old is a big black hairy one. He's solid black. That might have been the daddy right there. So whatever that was, it was 9.5 to 10 feet tall. That one was, because it leaped over that fence. It had to, and it crashed through. It was so strong it would break hickory. And when it ripped through them briars, rosebush briars, and it took it a few minutes just to give me enough head start. Now, Bobo said it would have caught me if it wanted to. Maybe it would have, but I was running pretty darn hard. Believe me, that was young. I was like a rabbit.
We saw Big Daddy stride in this grass, and it was like, how long was his stride? I mean, I've forgotten by now.
Oh my God, it's like
9 feet, 10 feet, 11, I don't know.
It's like 7 of my feet steps, and I'm stretching.
Like, really big.
I mean, big leaps. It's got like 8 or at least 7 to 8 steps. It takes 6 of my big long footsteps to catch it.
And not just walking normally, big strides,
big strides. This thing was running for something, or to get away from us, get across that field without being seen. And that's how I know how big a stride it could make. All right.
Okay. Rachel has a question. When y'all smelt them, what do they smell like?
Can I answer it?
Yeah, you got the smell, baby.
When you smell them, it's like hitting a brick wall. And this is how I take it. A cross between wet, musty dog, moldy basement.
And a skunk.
And a skunk. All three
my worst
together.
Enemy. Yeah, all mixed together. This is how bad they smell. I don't know why they do that.
It was so odd. The day that he got hit with the rock, we never smelled him.
He might have been clean.
He was close to us when you see his shoulder, and I don't know what minute that was, but you can see his shoulder, and he's not that far away, so we never smelled him. And then lately, since we're really friendly, with our Bigfoot, I don't smell him at all anymore. Never.
I think the smell is a warning. Maybe they throw it at you like a skunk. Maybe they do have something to throw at you. I don't know.
I just heard it's a disguise, and maybe they don't need to be disguised anymore because
we've been so close to them 2 or 3 times, but we never smelled them. But if you chase one and you start getting that roaring and all that rooster crowing, knocking, that's when you start hearing all the sounds they make and the knocking. That's when you start smelling.
That was at the beginning, and too, on the episode where you hear the snake rattling, and it was kind of towards the beginning. I don't remember which episode, but he found this like what he thought to be a hunting blind.
Yeah.
And I said, "Do you smell something?" And I think that was the first time we smelled it, and I didn't know what it was. And he said, "No, you smell something, Turtlegal." And then he bends down and he looks at this claw mark on the ground. And then I got down. I said, and then he said, "I smell it now," or something. And I said, "I smell it again too." When the camera is on him and you look in the background, there's something very tall and black in the background. And I really think that was Daddy back there because it was really tall.
Yeah, it was something blobby standing
and just
there.
Something
like
black.
A stump.
And
I don't remember that stump being right that close.
He wasn't far away from us.
It was only like 10 yards. That was maybe 12 yards. And I'm going to get that rangefinder. I will find out how it works. I won't be naked.
You'll carry it one day.
I'll probably lose it, but it's going to get one desperate. I'm going to be writing down. I write this down. Here it is.
So what else? What else do y'all have?
Okay. Can Squatch ask, when did Turtle Woman, which is Turtlegal, become a believer in Bigfoot?
Well, I heard of his story so many times when he was younger, and I'm like, okay, all right, and I heard it, and that's it, and you move on. Well,
can't believe me.
Well, no, I believed him, but it's just.
I don't think nobody believes me until you actually show it to you.
Well, okay, let me talk.
All right.
So
I'll show it to her.
It's like you believe the story, but then you go on and you.
It's like
okay, so let me listen.
All right, yeah, go ahead, Turtle.
Okay, so you remember how we said before he even saw Bigfoot and the mama and the teenager that we heard all these like whoop sounds and we heard the wounded goose and all this stuff. Well, I was in Pigeon Forge eating with our friends Trent and his family, and he was telling me about his Bigfoot story, and I was like, "Oh, okay, okay," and yeah. On the inside, I'm listening.
The friendly side of the Bigfoot family.
So then he said, and then all this.
You don't see him. Okay, sorry.
So then he said, and then all of a sudden I heard Bigfoot go whoop. And I went, what? And I said, what do you mean? And he did it again. And he said, that's the sound that Bigfoot makes, a big whoop. And I said, oh my gosh, that's what we heard. And so then I started like freaking out and thinking in my head, putting two and two together.
Yeah.
That's what we heard was that noise. And so then
we started putting two and two together, but when we was out deer hunting, when we went deer hunting and scouting over the farm and all back in the knobs, I always took her hiking to my favorite places.
But it wasn't for another year after
we
that
figured
story
out
that
she figured out that was him. I said, yep, that was him.
That's what a year later after Trent's story, and I had the ears open up. Then that's when he saw Mama and a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and now, you're darn right, I believe, because my man almost got killed with a rock, and we've smelled them, seen them, heard them.
We heard them. I've seen them 7 times, but I think she's only seen the I think they know that she's so scared they would petrify her. So
I don't think so. Not now. I think that
they might. We're gonna find out in this part 2 episode because we're gonna get closer than we are now.
Now, one thing I do want to do is just sit quietly in an area where we don't ever go in and just sit and just try to see what we see.
Set some peanut butter out there.
Yeah. I just I'm a person that looks where I step, and I'm always looking down. And when I'm filming him. I'm trying to look around to see that we don't get hit by anything. I'm trying to watch for a snake. I'm trying to not trip on a branch. I'm doing 50,000 things, and so I can't concentrate really on like looking for him.
It's hard to do. The filming is really hard. I know because even when me and Neil and Squirrel and Lolly Dog were filming, it was really hard. I mean, 16-hour days, 10-hour days would be a short day to us. We'd like, all right, we're getting off early. Woo!
too, and so like he's a lot taller than me, and he can see over everything, and I always miss him.
I've had people, my fans and other hunters, and say, "You're a heck of a tracker, Turtle Man. You can really find the clues. We never would have even seen that, wouldn't been for you."
Oh, it is so hilarious watching our old episodes 1 through 9, because I'm like, look at all the sticks right there,
Look at the
big tree, and I mean, we didn't know what any of that meant. I was stepping on it,
and I was showing people. I said, "Look at this here. Something's hung these limbs up in these trees." Ain't nothing. But I figured out they were something. They were markers.
I've got to say, from watching y'all's YouTube videos and seeing what y'all did notice, it takes people a long time to figure some of that stuff out that y'all put together pretty quick. So,
looking back, I'm proud of him for what he did notice, because we were clueless, and I can literally laugh at so many of the things that I see now. And of course, now I've been at a rest area driving from like down south, and coming back. I'm like, honey, why don't you pull over at this rest area? I just want to see if a Bigfoot lives out here, and looking out in the woods, and like I'm 5 feet in, and I'm like, yeah, Bigfoot live here,
Yeah. 2 trees big as round as a fence post, just wrapped around together. I said, "Yep, he's been here all right. Okay, let's get on to the truck. Don't get a rock thrown at us." We was down Mississippi. There's a swamp down there near Washington Lake, and we drove by that swamp, and I said, "Did you see that? Oh my God!" We turned around and went back to that spot. We filmed that place.
Yeah, it was right there,
right off the road
in the swampy area. And you saw all these structures, and
they built I don't know what they built there, man. It's a big structure, man. It looks like oh my God, a Cahokia. That's what it looks like a big mound made out of wood.
Nobody that didn't know about Bigfoot would know anything.
You better go down there to that place. Down there, Washington Lake, where we was at, down that trail going to Washington Lake, where we went to the snake rodeo with Ronnie and Ashley and the hillbillies, Hillbilly Red, and
lots of people.
Anyway, lots of people was there. Uncle Si was there and everything. But there's a swamp there, man. It has a. You got to go get a picture of that. If anybody's a Bigfoot hunter, they got to go down to that swamp. It's right by the road. You ought to see it's a pyramid built out of wood, and it's packed up. It's identical to a pyramid. Tell them, honey.
Well, we call it a teepee, not really a pyramid.
A pyramid, teepee, whatever it is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
now, what is interesting is I'm looking at them, and I don't want to get them down because I don't want them to break. They're brittle, but Bigfoot has left me flowers a lot, like even in the winter, the dried seed heads. And one in particular, he bent everything into a triangle.
You may get it?
No, I don't want it to break. It's just so brittle. I'm sure but he just bent everything into a triangle. And then there was one stick that was shoved into the bush.
Wow.
But I had to crack the long stick off because I wanted to display it in the house. So I cracked off the long stick at the bottom, but I just left the triangle part, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
that is cool.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anybody got any other questions?
Well, I cannot believe how fast we've been on here for over 2 hours, and it's been great.
You're talking the real truth, and it ain't nothing but the truth. You can stay on and talk about it all night long. It's not boring. It's actually the truth. You don't see me hesitating about it, do you? I'm telling you what you see. Now, if you go with a group, I'm going to tell y'all some warning signs. Anybody want to know about warning signs? We'll give them a couple minutes if they want to know warning signs.
Okay, well, tell us about warning signs.
Okay, warning signs. If you go out with a group, like 6 or 7, 10 people, 8, even 5, even 4 people, you got to be careful. When you actually get encountered with a Bigfoot, your fear factor kicks in. Now, if you got a knife or a gun, and you're this scared now, and your fear factor kicks in without you knowing it. If somebody plays a joke on you and grabs you, and you got a knife in your hand, that guy's gonna get stabbed.
Yeah.
And if he's got a pistol and he's holding it in his hand, somebody grabs you or somebody screams, he turns around, he's going to shoot. It's automatic. You're going to get really hurt. So before you go into a Bigfoot hunt, night or day, night probably be worse because you really get kicked in. Because I've seen these things 7 times, and every time I've seen them, I'm scared. My warning light, no. But I got a warning light. I know what to do now because I've got experience and I've been experienced. Even 9 years old, that broke me, but I know what to do now. But your fear factor will defend itself, and you will hurt the other person that's trying to scare you.
Yeah.
It's not a game. It's not a joke. It's not. Right. It really isn't. I mean,
the best way I can describe is get Bigfoot Country, the movie. If you want to watch a Bigfoot show, get that movie. I'm telling you.
Now, see, you let me watch that well before we had the Bigfoot experience.
I'm training her.
That was horrifying. I had to beg God to erase it from my mind. It was awful.
I mean, this is the real truth. This is what you're really going to do. So if you want to watch Bigfoot
don't watch
Country,
it, please.
I mean,
it'll scar you for life. Don't watch it.
People that wants to hunt Bigfoot don't know what they're getting into. If you want to really see this movie, Bigfoot Country, you watch that movie and it'll tell you how you're going to hurt somebody.
It's horrifying.
Best to pay your knowledge. I'm giving you a warning. That's a warning from Turtleman himself. Because I love you people, and I love all my fans, and I love everybody. Jesus loves you, but the Turtle team loves you too. And we pray for everybody, and we don't want nothing bad to happen. I let her watch that movie to give her an idea what's going to happen when you get out there. People downed her and yelled at her, "Oh, you big wussy, you scaredy cat. Turtleman needs somebody." Well, I know that hurt her feelings, but you watch that movie, Bigfoot Country, and you tell me how you feel.
You know what? I would love to see the bravest person go stand in front of a Bigfoot like we have.
I would too.
And not run out or something like that. They all think they're something, but I'm so sorry.
I've seen that too.
Macho Man. I'm brave and strong. I'm here to save the day. I'm Macho Man. Okay. I'm going to see a Bigfoot.
Well, I tell you.
All right, I'm telling you a warning. That's a warning. Your fear will kick in and protect itself. Your body will protect itself.
Yeah, that's great advice. You don't play with people and you don't do jokes out there because that's how, what if somebody just breaks and runs, and then runs straight into a tree or runs off into a ravine or something. So
let me tell you something that happened to me in the dark. I forgot my flashlight. So I'm sneaking through the woods, walking in the dark now. I'm going squirrel hunting over at my Uncle Randy's. Over at Campbellsville. I'm walking through the woods. I walk off a 40-foot bluff. Luckily, it was a river down below me and landed in the river.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
Down below me or solid, rock bottom. I'd have been crippled, probably in a wheelchair or dead.
Yeah.
Just lucky it was a deep hole of water down below, a little river there, and I splashed out in the water, and luckily I knew how to swim. It scared me to death. I thought, well, this is over.
Let's see if they have more questions.
All right, more questions. Let's hear about it.
Okay. Well, I got one last question, and I know Larry, I have one last question.
Okay.
But I want to know how Turtle Mom's doing. I want to hear about Turtle Mom.
Turtle Mom, let me tell you, she's like a hot wire. She had to go to the hospital last Sunday. We was doing a show up there at I forgot.
I forgot where we were last week.
Oh my God, I'm brain dead. There it is again. It's down in Kentucky.
Okay, just go on.
Anyway, I forgot. Anyway, it was good. It was a good show. I'm very well pleased. And anyway, Turtle Mom, after I left, she got stung by hornets. Went to church. Had to go to the hospital. She got stung by hornets. I mean, she got stung like 17, 16 times.
Ooh.
You don't mess with hornets, they bad. Yeah. And they got me last week too. I mean, a bunch of they were yellow jackets, and they got me. And I said, well, I'll bomb in when I get back. Well, she found another nest, and they got her good. But she's doing all right now. She's all recovered. She said, we bombing them hornets. So we went out there, but I got stuck a couple more times bombing them. So we got like 8 nesters out there now. We took care of every one of them. We got them. Woohoo! But Turtle Mom, she something else about 3 months ago. I drive up in the truck. She's out there. She loves her little kitty cats. And she's out there whipping a broom just like Davy Crockett on the broom. I didn't know what she was doing. I said, what is she doing whooping up on that cat? It wasn't a cat. It was a bobcat. Baby kitties. And she loves her kitties. She's out there, Mom, that's a bobcat. I jump out of the truck, start running up there, and the cat sees me jumping out. And this thing, wow, wow, wow. It jumped in the air, and every time it jumped in there, she somersaulted, clotheslined it with that broom handle. Finally, it run off down through the woods and got away. I took her hiking one day looking for Indian arrowheads. And, man, she outwalked me. I had to sit down. It was like 90 degrees, and she just kept walking. I got to sit down.
She's got the energy.
She's got the energy. Turtle Mom is all right now. And she says, and I mean, she loves all her fans, too. And she's admiring everybody. She's just a Turtle Mom, you know. I couldn't do without her myself.
We're big fans. We are big fans.
I'm about to get her to go on a Bigfoot hunt with us one day, but she embarrasses me.
That's her job.
Yeah. She knows all kinds of good stories.
You start talking about my babyhood, you know.
Oh, God.
You know, man, my baby.
Yeah.
And we look like a little dirty rat.
Yeah.
Let's do the next question.
Next question. Yay!
All right. I'm going to ask what most people probably ask you all the time. Any more TV series coming up or anything in the works like that?
Answer that.
I'll answer that, then I'll answer what I think I'm going to do. I'll tell you what I'm going to think about doing if the fans want to see it. I got to ask the fans first. Me and Neil and Squirrel always said that when we raised it up, we'll ask the fans what they like, and I'll put it on there. So I'll let her go first.
Okay. We've turned down 7 contracts already because they're so. All they want to do is take. One of them even had, when he died, they got his will. It was in the fine print. I mean, another person wanted to completely own his name, everything, Turtleman. He would not even be Turtleman.
My kids wouldn't get something. I love my 2 kids, Courtney and Megan, and I want them to have something.
It's really just unreal, the things that they have come up with, and you know that after this show, because they made Turtleman. I don't think so. Turtleman's already Turtleman.
Oh yeah.
They would say, "Well, you're
famous guy around.
You're gonna have to go do all these meet and greets. You're gonna have to go every week, and you're gonna have to pay your way." And this, I mean, just on and on. I mean, he gets paid for meet and greets. He doesn't pay to go to a meet and greet. You know, so it's just on and on. So I don't even want to look at a contract. That's why. Our show is on our
people
YouTube
want to see me,
channel.
I'll just do it myself. They want to see me, come to my meet and greet and see me. I'll take a picture with you.
That's why we put it on our YouTube channel, because now we have control over it. Because that's anyway. That's what I wanted to say. If everybody would be fair, everybody could have a great time.
Have a good time. Right. Everybody's having fun. And when people are having fun, you're having a good time. You're filming. But when you stop having fun, you're hating your show and you hate doing what you're doing.
Right.
You're not having fun. Time to walk away. Quit. You know.
Well, I gotta say, y'all do great with the YouTube videos, and you always add a little aspect toward the end of it, a little adventure or misadventure that makes it cool. And the reality of the hunt in the beginning is always great too. So
always great. There's no fake hunting, ain't no fake, but. We planned that in. I mean, we've had people say, it's live right there. They're really doing this. I was, no, that was film. We had to get it together to meet these people, to know where to meet. That's the action part, you know, like the General Lee. Them crazy people doing donuts in the middle of the road. Gosh, that's a funny episode. He didn't crack a smile. You didn't see him on no Happy Griffin.
You know, down trying to get up that hill, which was straight up. And I fell right at Moonshiner Josh's feet, and I raised the camera up, and he's sitting there looking down at the camera.
And that crazy dude, the Moonshiner Josh, he runs down the hill, just takes off running after the show was over. He runs down the hill. I wish we could have got that on film.
Well, I do.
He runs faster than any deer that I ever could. Deer couldn't have made that jump. He didn't even fall straight down. He runs off down it, just flick of the ribbon.
Yeah.
Gosh, I would have slid on my butt before I just took off running like, yeah, you're fixing to get killed. He looked like a road runner. He did. God bless him.
Oh, wow. This has probably been my favorite podcast. This has just been awesome. And we would just like to give Turtleman and Turtlegal this opportunity to say any final words that you would like to say to your fans out there.
Well, God, Jesus loves you, and the Turtle team loves you too. And we always love our fans. We pray for everybody every night to heal up. And we had one boy the other day, his daddy got sick. His sugar dropped. He almost went into a coma. So we started praying right that day, that night. He called me up at 1 o'clock in the morning. Andrew was his name. And so I said, Andrew, I'll pray a Holy Mary for you right now. And I'll say a rosary. And I fell asleep saying the rosary, got it finished. And the next morning, he calls me up at probably, I think, 11 o'clock. He calls me up. Of course, I'm done hiking in the woods again, looking for things. And he says, my daddy's on his feet again. Woo, man, you made us happy, Turtleman.
Yeah.
He said he's out of the danger zone. I said, all right. Woo. So that's how fast we pray for you and make you feel better. So don't think we don't pray for you and love you and all that. And I'm telling you the truth. I'm not lying about nothing. Always just be careful in the woods. There's a lot more than a Bigfoot to worry about in the woods.
Yeah.
A lot more.
One thing about like Facebook and Facebook Messenger and stuff, he gets so many messages every day, you know, so you get like a 1% chance that it'll be seen. But if you put your messages in his post, then you know you have like a 99.9% chance of being seen. So, you know.
And I got all kinds of fan mail, and I'm going to tell you all. I'm sorry I haven't answered every fan mail.
That's just.
But I've got to make a little money to mail off the fan mail. So when it's raining and snowing during the winter, I'm writing to my fans. So I haven't threw away. I don't open the letters. Whatever I pick up out of the bag, whoever I pull out of my big bag, it might be from 7 years ago till it might have been yesterday or last week. Whoever I open that letter up, I'll write that letter and boom, boom, boom. You'll be getting a letter from me. I mean, I just ain't had time to do it because I work all the time and I'm out here filming all the time trying to find Bigfoot. I took a whole year off work, you know, to track these Bigfoots. And of course, I had to heal up a little bit. I got hurt with that rock. It took me a while to heal up. And just like on my show, I broke my shoulder, my ribs, and I hurt my leg and my hip real bad.
That was on Call of the Wild Man.
That was on Call of the Wild Man. That's the reason I got off of there. I had to heal up. And I wish they'd put me back on, but now I lost my teen squirrel, Banjo Neil, and my lolly dog, and it ain't but me and Turtle Mom left now. And I guess, you know, it just the other ones are working and married with children. So I'm just trying to meet my fans and just keep the memories alive. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying to keep everybody happy by doing what I want to do. But anyway, I got a question for you all. I was wanting to go and ask all my fans out there what they want to see. Do y'all want me to arrowhead hunt for a show? I like to do an arrowhead show to look for artifacts. And I might go around the whole state of, the whole United States like I am now to meet people. I might, who's going to, you know, see the most rarest arrowhead? That's what I'm trying to find.
Or just go to different areas.
Go different areas and see what we find that day or something to see that. People might want to see that. Or I got another show coming out. I've been wanting to do all my life ever since I started Tucky a Field or Denny Treese on Channel 27 News or Election Herald Leader, all that stuff, and all Animal Planet. It's something I always want to do, to hunt turtles. I'm looking for a Turtlezilla. That's right. Instead of a Bigfoot, this is the biggest turtle you can ever catch. My record's 160 pounds, but I still hear people say, I saw a 350-pound turtle. I saw a 400-pound turtle. I saw a turtle bigger than a car hood. That's the turtle I'm after, Turtlezilla. Do y'all want to see that show? And it's live action because I'm jumping in a pond, catching this animal, this critter, Turtlezilla. I'm going after him, but I got to have my backup with my turtle fans. I want them to know that Turtleman catches its critters if you got one to catch. Yeah. I'm going to find this Turtlezilla or the rarest arrowhead that can be found. What is the rarest arrowhead? Is it a Cumberland, a Flotsam, Clovis, Dovetail? I don't know. Y'all tell me what you want to see. Turtlezilla, arrowheads, or what do you want to see? Tell me so.
So Turtleman and Turtlegal fans, put it in the comment section.
Yeah. Tell these guys here and they'll get back with me. See who wins.
Absolutely.
They both sound great. I'll watch both of them.
Yeah. Larry, do you have any final words?
I just want to thank Turtlegal and Turtleman for coming on. Y'all have been great. Y'all's energy and enthusiasm for the Bigfoot, it's great and contagious. And I'm impressed by all the things y'all have had happen in the last year and a half. So it's been a thrill to sit here and listen to all the experiences y'all have had and the gifting and being gifted and all that. And I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving is the debut of season 2, right?
Yeah.
All
right. Well, we just want to thank y'all again for coming on. If you haven't subscribed to Turtleman's channel, we're going to pin it at the top of the comment section. And so you'll be able to go straight there and make sure you subscribe. And what a joy it has been talking to y'all for the past week. And y'all are just such nice people and humble people. And you are the kind of people that we like to surround ourselves around. Well,
we always say, too, me and Neil and Squirrel always say, if you can't get along with us, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, I agree.
Why you want to fight for? I like peace and harmony.
I agree.
Yeah. But anyway, you got anything to add, Turtlegal?
No, I just
Larry and Mark looking sleepy.
Thank y'all so much. And yes, we love you, and yes, we pray for you guys all the time. And thank y'all so much. And good luck on your journeys and all that. And I wish everybody out there the best. And Jesus has the world under control. He's got it going on. So we love you so much, and thank you again and again.
New Turtle Girl coming out part 2. Y'all be ready.
All right.
You'll see what she can do. Season 2. You'll see what she can do. That's right. Turtle Man Official Channel. Check it out on YouTube, or call the Wild Man Turtleman. Check it out too.
That's right.
We're gonna put all of that in the comment section. So y'all make sure y'all go and watch and support Turtleman and Turtlegal, and we will see everybody again. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Same turtle time, same.
Night, night, turtles. Beast TV would like to welcome all of our new Facebook members. Be sure to check out our pictures and videos of possible evidence. And if you haven't checked out the Files tab, there is a wealth of information that you may find beneficial. If you would like to support Beast TV, check out our gear. We have coffee mugs, face masks, gaiters, shirts, and tank tops. The link is pinned at the top of the comment section. Everything is always marked down 20%. So come check out our junk.
This has been a Sawdust production.